Trump had 9 months, Joe Biden had about 33.5. Right, so you can't make the claim that his shitty manufacturing numbers, which I'm listening to you from
Do
the
you know
Fred.
why? Jesus fucking.
Okay, so can I finish making my? First of all, the argument's not about C19; it's about manufacturing numbers.
But you're telling lies.
Okay,
right, YouTube,
telling
let me know if
lies
it's
by
good
Started
now.
in December of 2019.
So
Shut down travel in January.
okay, but guess what? It didn't. It started
in January.
Okay, so
Fuck you.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read Trump's executive order that was signed on March that literally gave the governors the authority to quite literally, I don't know, do like lockdowns and stuff like that that you guys blame Biden for. So it didn't hit the markets, the U.S. market, until March. So yeah, it didn't hit mainland market impact.
We didn't declare the national emergency until March. I mean,
yeah. So with that being said, all of them even throw you a bone here. Americans started panic selling in February, so at the most 10 months, at the most. So with that being said, Trump signed that executive order in March, and yeah, no economist is going to agree with you that the major market shock was before March, right? So 9 months of C19, and you blame 9 months for 4 years of Trump's shitty manufacturing numbers. March 2020 is quite literally when the lockdowns and the slowdown of the economy started in the United States of America.
You know when the recession ended?
So can you acknowledge what I said?
What you said is wrong. I've already acknowledged that.
Okay. Oh, all right, cool. Prove it with the economic source, please, because I'm just going to go ahead and list mine right now, right? S&P Global, U.S. Department of Economic Analysis, CRFB, and Trump's executive...
When did the COVID-19 recession begin?
And Trump's executive order that he even said there was an economic... So I'm quoting Trump on this one, right? Trump signed that order on March. So with that being said, I gave you two economic sources from Trump's executive branch and Trump's executive order. All of them saying that this shit started becoming a disaster in March. And you blame 9 months of the pandemic for Trump's 4 years of shitty manufacturing numbers.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, can you refute what I said?
Everything you said was fucking false for the third fucking time.
Okay, cool.
Can you articulate how it was false? My goodness.
like I'm the only one giving sources here. You're giving me emotions.
No, I literally, the source is the BEA, the source is the fucking GDP, the source is the BLS. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so the BLS even shows March would be the month.
Shut up and listen for a second.
So the BLS would even show you that the March
definitely made a significant impact.
Hey, what year did COVID start?
Okay, all right, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and answer your question.
And did Donald Trump?
Okay, so why'd you ask me a question? I'm gonna answer your question, right? It started in China way before it hit mainland America, but it didn't impact, according to even the conservative. Why are you interrupting while I'm answering your question?
Dude came up crashing out, dude.
Right. So it didn't hit the markets, and I'm looking directly at the BLS in March 2020, and you were lying to me. Right. So with that being said, it didn't shock the market until March 2020. Negative
the recession ended April of 2020.
I didn't ask you about when it ended. You asked me.
I don't give a fuck what you asking me. You're sitting here.
You literally asked me when it started, so I'm just gonna go ahead and
Trump shut down.
I'm gonna go ahead and read March. I'm gonna go ahead and read March. I'm gonna read March
in January.
Okay, cool, but it didn't hit the economy until March. So I'm gonna read March 20. Why are you interrupting while I'm reading a source? Okay, we can do this all day. So BLS March 2020 March 2020. Right. Okay, cool. March 2020 minus 400. There was an increase in this back in February. March 2020 minus 459,000, which is not common. For food services jobs minus 417,000, manufacturing jobs minus 61,000, healthcare jobs. Why did that happen? Because literally the mainland was getting C19. Sorry, my bad. There was an economic argument here. I didn't know he was going to crash out on me. But I'm trying to read my sources, to be fair.
Did he run?
Yeah, I was just trying to read him the sources. I mean, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. YouTube, we should be good now. I just got the mic situated here, so you should be able to hear me fine. Unfortunately, it looked like the volume went down again. So keep me on the lookout for if it goes down at random, and then I will know this mic is, I guess it would be a software issue. Because 2 mics in a row just does that at random. I would have to get something to fix that. But I think we mostly fixed the sound problems now. As I was saying, we can look at the job loss specifically in 2019 because we saw a huge manufacturing slowdown due to Donald Trump's tariffs and other factors, to where we had 40. Hold on, let me get my specifics here. January 2019 to February of 2020. March is when it was officially declared a pandemic, and that's when we responded to it in kind. So you can't talk about December of 2019 because that's not when we were referencing when the pandemic hit the United States. And there are actually reports that show that it hit us earlier than that. We just didn't get much wind of it until December of 2019. And that net job loss was 48,000. Anyways, my overall claim was if you're comparing year over year at the end compared to the beginning, that's what we saw this loss in, not the fact that we were able to get jobs overall. That's just a ridiculous way of putting things. That's like saying because we hired people through this time, that means we didn't have lost jobs in other factors such as his layoffs. That's not the argument that I was making. And I don't even remember all the other stupid shit he said. He fucking lost me when he came up here straight up. And he said, Treasury.gov, look at this number, look at this number. This one's higher. That means the president did it. That shit was insane.
Yeah, so last point I want to make before I drop off, right? So the March report for 2020 says that we lost, check this out, 701,000 jobs in March. And even the BLS is saying this is the worst since 2010, my bad, which means that there wasn't anything worse, not 2019, 2018, 2017. But with that being said, if we lost 700,000 jobs and that's the worst since 2010, that means that there is literally no way that 2019 could have been any worse at all, right? But yeah, man, thanks for having me. I just heard the economic slander.
I appreciate you coming up. W. Chris. So, guys, this is the problem when you don't know how to interpret information that you're reading. You have to be able to interpret the information that you're reading. Otherwise, you sound like that guy. It's not good to sound like that guy. Trump supporters request up in the box to you the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. I'm a little irritated with this stupid mic, man. I'm not going to lie. Oh, and that guy dropped down. With that being said, what? What's the purpose of spamming this in the chat, my guy? What is the purpose of spamming this in the chat? Trump 2028, MAGA Blaga. Well, I send you an invite because you clearly want my attention. You haven't accepted the invite, which means you clearly are a bitch. What are we doing? What are we doing? And then here's the crazy part about when we're having these conversations about this number and that number, so on and so forth. It's almost as if you guys never want to compare even. I'm going to be nice. It's almost as if you guys don't want to compare Trump's second administration, his second term, and his first year under his second term compared to his first year under his first term. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the losses there. Don't even worry about Biden. The man's not even performing as well as he was in his first administration. No Trump supporter wants to talk about those numbers. Shit is not looking so great. And just because your stocks are doing incredible, because Donald Trump manipulated the market to make himself and his friends richer, doesn't freaking mean that everything is so sweet and savory as you think, because ICE is going around picking up brown people and, I don't know, Dow's up 50,000 points. It's not how that works. Stock market is only up 8.24% versus Biden's 14.9%. I mean, yeah. So a bit of that. Anyways, I believe I have everything set up here including for the call-in number. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, you're growing more and more dissatisfied with this administration, or better yet, your own followers, because people like him come up and make y'all look really bad. You can call into the box or request up in the box and call into the number on screen and express exactly what did you win. And if you're a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, you may call in and request up, and I can give you several reasons as to why you should. Yeah, they don't want to talk about gas prices now. The response is either pivoting to something else that has nothing to do with gas prices, or B, it's still not as high as Biden. And we literally had the report a couple of weeks in that I believe it was mid-March that was showing, hey, fun fact, we just hit the highest average gas prices nationwide since 2022. We're already there. We're already there. And I will say this again and again and again. The difference is Biden never did anything to impact your gas prices negatively. You can't point to the Inflation Reduction Act. You can't point to the permits that he halted for drilling. You can't point to any of those factors. What we can point to is striking Iran and Iran responding with holding up the Strait of Hormuz that Donald Trump then begged the rest of the world to free him from. We can point directly to that and look at gas prices going up. That's the difference. And please, for fuck's sake, don't say the war in Ukraine. Please do not say the war in Ukraine. That is not good for you at all. At all. Due to price gouging, yeah, that's a separate conversation. They don't care about price gouging because then they say it's price control. That's what they literally say. It's price control. You know how many times I went back and forth with Trump supporters during 2024 when Kamala was running? And they kept telling me, Kamala Harris wants to control the prices. Never once said those words. Never once said those words. Hence why they responded to Zohran Mamdani in kind when it comes to rent control in the state of New York, or New York City specifically. They never want to talk about that. It's ridiculous. Rent control, price control isn't price gouging. Those are two different things. Okay? Two different things. Reggie, we already know you voted for Donald Trump, and I can take a wild guess and say that for some reason you do not regret your vote. So what would you like to say?
Oh, I just wanted to apologize for the way Elbass dog walked you and your boy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd apologize for another man, but sure.
I'm just sorry that happened to you. Like, are you traumatized? Are you okay?
Yeah. Well, maybe you can have a much better chance. Maybe you have a bigger brain. Can you articulate any of the points that he made?
I think he did a great job. He showed you what he showed you.
I asked you to articulate and substantiate the points that he made. I don't care. I asked you to substantiate the points that he made.
That's on my
Yes,
lip.
I have lip on my lip. I asked you to substantiate the points that he made.
He already substantiated. You verified it yourself and acknowledged that you verified it.
He didn't.
You verified it. I watched you verify
it.
And I
cool.
literally
So
heard
let me walk you through what just happened. Okay. His first claim was in regards to Joe Biden adding more to the national debt than Donald Trump. He substantiated his point. Oh, so what did he say?
That it rose under Joe Biden's leadership.
No shit, it rose under Joe Biden's leadership.
Which is a fact.
Hey, did you know that the national debt raises under every single administration?
Not under
crazy. What? The last couple for the last 20, about 30 years. Oh my gosh. Mind blown. What the fuck do you want me to do with that? His claim was that Joe Biden added more. We then went over the numbers. His numbers were correct in terms of the ending total. And then we followed up with the fact that you cannot say because his ending number was more than this person's ending number, that means that person added more when you look at the specific policies that they implemented and which one would actually be responsible or the fault of said president, right? So his point wasn't articulated because his point was who added more. Within the last two presidents. Within the last two presidents, the two presidents that we were talking about, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So you apparently weren't listening to the entirety of the conversation. Hence why you came up here and said that I was dog walk, because you don't even know what his point was. I'm not mad. I don't know what about anything I said equates to me being mad.
You're screaming over me, and
I'm not screaming. Are you screaming? Why? I'm not screaming.
You're mad. You're upset.
Yes, I make faces. I'm very expressive.
You didn't do it,
so
man.
I just want to point out again that you have yet to articulate a point. You have yet to substantiate any of his, and you haven't even made your own. So can you make your own points? Can you make your own points?
But you asked me to defend his, which I'm not here for.
And then you literally came up here talking about how his points dog walk me. I then gave you the opportunity to substantiate one of his points, and you couldn't do it. So now I want to give you the opportunity to make your own. So maybe you're better at that.
Thank you. It's nice seeing you get dog walked.
Sure.
If you wanna debate on immigration policy or tariffs, I mean, it's clear how manufacturing is going. We're seeing a bigger, stronger America. I know you hate to see that, but here we are, man. You can get mad at tweets and posts every
What's
day
going well with immigration?
We're getting the illegals out, like Obama did.
Oh, so we're deporting people?
Yes, like Obama did.
Like Joe Biden did?
Yeah, no, not like that. No, not like.
So
that.
Joe Biden didn't deport undocumented migrants, particularly ones with violent criminal records.
He was a little too welcoming.
Wait. So we welcomed violent criminals into the United States?
You actually have to let me finish speaking. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, you keep saying things that I'm trying to get you to get to the point.
Are you gonna be capable of controlling yourself for a second?
I'm controlling myself just fine.
No, you're actually abusing that pen, dude. Like you're
really
tripping
not,
out, bro. Look at your face. You're
I don't know why you are hyper-focused on
Jack Reed.
Jack Reed holds, please. Someone's on the line. Cool. So can you tell me how Joe Biden did not deport violent criminals from the United States?
So that's not the point that I was making. If you wouldn't have interrupted me, you would hear the point that I'm making.
Cool.
Okay, are you ready to listen? Are you going to be okay? Can you sit down?
Well, yeah, you said Joe Biden was deporting people.
Can you calm down? No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
You didn't say Donald Trump was deporting people?
I told you that Donald Trump is deporting people. I did not tell you that Joe Biden was deporting people.
I literally just corrected myself. I literally just attributed the right person to it. And then I would be correct as well because Joe Biden also deported people, my guy.
If you just control yourself and think before you speak, you won't have to correct yourself. You're going to be okay now? Because this is the third time I've asked you if you're going to be able to control yourself, and then
I'm controlling myself just fine. If by controlling myself you mean if I'm never going to interrupt you, then no.
You're ready to eat that pen or break it.
I'm really not. Do you want to see? Do you want to see me eat this pen? Do you have a thing about watching men eat pole-shaped things?
What are you doing?
That was just a really weird point for you to make.
What are you doing?
What made you believe that I was going to eat this marker? By the way,
because you're freaking out.
Oh my gosh! Did you say pen? Now, if only you were controlling yourself and thinking before you spoke, you would have called this a pen, a marker, and not a pen. Look at that. See how I can play this game? I can play this stupid game too. So like I was saying, if you're complimenting Donald Trump for deporting people, particularly violent criminals, then you would have to give the same grace, the same compliments to Joe Biden because he literally did the exact same thing.
If you would have let me finish, what I was telling you was Joe Biden was too welcoming and his policies were too lax.
What was welcoming about Joe Biden?
You don't know what was welcoming about Joe Biden?
No, I need you to tell me since it was
you're not aware of the caravans of illegals. You didn't see anything with Chicago.
So Joe Biden said caravans of illegals coming to the United States. Come on in. We can't wait for you. Is that what Joe Biden said? Did he have a policy that said when you see caravans of undocumented migrants, tell them to come on in, we'll give you some fucking, I don't know, burritos? Is that what happened?
Is that what I said? Because once again, you're not controlling yourself.
Well, you specifically made a claim, and you said he was too welcoming, and then you followed up with caravans.
You've thrown the pen, you've abandoned it.
I'm not throwing it anymore. You're really hyper-focused with this pen, and I don't know why. I need you to tell me what the caravans had to do with the policies of the Biden administration.
Your forehead is wrinkling, bro. Just chill out and let me finish, okay? So it's the fifth time. We're going to see if you can actually calm yourself down.
You keep jumping to like personal insults and stupid shit because you don't have a real argument.
Is that an insult?
I just want to point that out, by the way.
How is that an insult? You said that you were going to control yourself and then you're not doing it. That's not an insult. That's what you're doing.
I never said I was going to control myself. Those words.
Now you didn't say it.
I remember saying, if by
dog
controlling
walk.
myself, you mean that I'm going to stop interrupting you.
You're in a
then
delusional
no,
psychosis.
That's actually what I said. So you clearly
you're in
have
a
trouble
delusional psychosis.
paying attention to words coming out of my mouth.
You're in a delusional psychosis.
Keep making your point about those caravans, buddy.
Are you gonna let me finish?
Sure.
Okay, so now do you hear yourself agreeing that you're going to let me finish, because you've done that several times now, and then you're saying that you're not doing that.
I'm going to let you finish making your point when you actually make your point and you answer the
Okay.
questions.
So Biden's policy, which relaxed immigration control, allowed too many people to come in and allowed them to seek shelter, and also paid money for them to be here, which was problematic because we are the ones who have to pay for that.
What money?
You don't know what money?
Yeah, tell me what money.
You don't know about the FEMA money. You don't know. You know about the
answering
federal.
my questions with you don't know this and you don't know that doesn't make any sense.
Asked me a question, and now that I'm responding to it, you're talking again. I'm going to shut you the
fuck up because I let you finish your sentence, and I'm not even given a full opportunity to respond. So you keep making points, and then when I respond to your point, you say you don't know. You don't know. Well, clearly I don't, right? So this is your opportunity to substantiate the claims you keep making. All right? Great. Wonderful. What money?
Do you understand how the Treasury of the United States works? Do you understand that at all? Do you understand how the Treasury works?
Is going towards
I have to figure out how dumb you are so I can educate you.
What money is going towards undocumented migrants?
So FEMA money goes towards undocumented migrants, and they don't have to be undocumented. That's just something you made up. I didn't say undocumented.
Well, the issue would be illegal immigration, correct? Clearly, you wouldn't be complaining about legal immigration to the United States and legal processes.
Are you going to let me finish, or are you just going to keep interrupting?
Well, when I said undocumented, you made a complaint about that when the conversation was surrounding the problem with undocumented or illegal immigrants.
Do you know what undocumented means?
Yes, I know what undocumented means.
What does it mean?
Undocumented means you do not have citizenship here in the United States, a birth certificate or documentation that legally authorizes you to be here via anything like naturalization, so on and so forth.
Okay. Do you understand that there can be some people here that have some documents but are still not naturalized or born here?
That's correct. And calling them undocumented could also be in reference to specifically their birth certificate, which would be the documentation.
Right. And that's why I'm not using that
American citizenship.
I'm trying to explain.
I mean, I don't care what you use. I'm going to use what I use, though.
Right, that's fine. But I just want you to understand what I'm saying. That's why I'm making it clear here.
Yeah. Okay. So you're complaining about FEMA money going towards legal immigrants, right?
I'm complaining about all the money going towards illegal immigrants instead.
I said legal.
Paid into the system.
I said legal.
So legal isn't necessarily a status. You could be seeking asylum, but we don't know if it's been. You could have applied and not been
legal
denied.
Isn't a status.
There's a whole host of people that may not necessarily be illegal or undocumented.
Oh man!
But all of them being here and us having to pay for it suddenly is problematic. Don't you agree?
What?
Don't you agree?
Agree with what?
That if a certain amount of people come here, if too many people come here at the same time and they're not able to work or do things and we have to pay for it, that could become problematic?
Yep. It didn't happen though.
So that didn't happen.
Nope.
Look at you fucking laughing. You don't even believe that.
Oh, I'm laughing at you. Nice try.
So
W's in the chat to cheat you for the $5 Venmo. MAGA/conservative men like this Pinecone are deeply submissive to male authority figures. Oh, they love their male authority figures. That's why they listen to every single word Donald Trump makes and takes it as law. W's in the chat to you. Says the guy who came up talking about my lip, my wrinkles, and a fucking marker. W's in the chat to Patrice for the $5 Venmo. Sorry for the I like poop.
This is hilarious.
I was wondering who that was, Patrice. I was so confused. W's in the chat to you.
Make some money,
W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Keisha, I see you in the request. Do you mean to be there? I'll let you up. Just confirming. Back to your point. So can you tell me what your issue is with FEMA money going towards immigrants?
That it bankrupted New York, Chicago. Nobody wants to pay for
FEMA money going to immigrants bankrupted New York.
I'm speaking.
Yeah, I'm following up with what you're saying.
Can you shut the fuck up for a second and let me finish?
No. So you said FEMA money bankrupted New York. And he literally ran.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I'm going to say this again, and maybe one of these days Trump supporters are going to get it. Every single time you guys insult me and hyper-focus on markers, or excuse me, pens, and talk about what's on my lip, which is crazy to me that you're so focused on my lip, I win. I win. Every single time you guys pivot and you make claims and you don't substantiate, then you drop from the box, I win. That's how that works. With that being said, I let this guy up and I forgot I had someone on the line, so I'm going to drop you down and finish up with this caller. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump? Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump? Excuse
Hello?
me. Yes, caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
It went down again. Are you a woman by any chance?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. And you voted for Trump?
My father is actually Jeffrey. Jeffrey E. Yeah. He did the call and put his name in. Hello? Hello? Waiting.
Call from
Jacob.
I got excited too because we rarely have MAGA women come up and call in. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, how we doing, Bertha?
I don't know who Bertha is.
Huh?
I don't know.
Bertha, you. I'm calling you Bertha.
You call me Bertha or brother?
I said Broseph.
Broseph?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Broseph. You know, it's like brother, but like, you know. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I saw your live stream. I don't think the president's doing a very good job. That's just my opinion. And I think the economic report speaks for his how he's been doing, and that's about it, man.
I would say economically, no. Especially if we're talking about the lower and middle class. They're not better off.
No. Whoa. I never said he was doing a good job. I said he was doing a bad job. I'm sorry. I'm on my head.
I thought you said something about him doing a bad job outside of economic speaking for himself. You do have a lot of background noise.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. All right, is that better?
Yes.
All right, my bad. I had my headphones in. No, what I was saying was he's not doing a very good job economically. And what I told people in the 2024 election, I got a lot of flack for this, is when he was running on the tariffs policy. I told people that it was not a good thing for the economy. If you understand any of the supply chains and logistics in the country, that it would essentially hurt big business. It would hurt all business, actually. And I got called a Democrat for it. And now where I work is closing down because of the tariffs and the Iran situation. A lesser man would take a victory lap, but yeah, no, he's not doing a very good job at all. And you have the Epstein situation. The Iran situation would have happened anyway, whether it was Kamala or Trump. So
I vehemently disagree with that. But really quickly, you voted for Trump?
No, I actually did not vote. Well, actually, I did vote. I voted for Jill Stein.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, no.
So you
I didn't
a throwaway vote.
I don't think saying voting for third party is saying it's a throwaway vote. I think you should vote for what party best represents your interests.
Yeah. So
I think people
to you
that
and your convictions and your passions, it's not a throwaway vote to you. In the grand scheme of things, you're dropping a pool of nothing that can't seem to get at least 5% of the vote for the last several decades. And those votes could have went towards keeping the fascists out of the Oval Office.
Well, view it like this. America, in order to fix its political problems, it needs to have the option for a third party to come up.
Agreed.
Okay? And then I believe, and with Gen Z, my generation, we are very strong in our conviction that the best way to fix the country is to open up a third party. And a lot of Gen Z voters. But we had some of the greatest fucking third-party turnout this year during the 2024 election. And to say the third party and independence from the Democrats and the Republicans is a waste of a vote, I think that's just a fallacy to say that. I think more people, we need more political parties in this country.
We have a bunch of political parties in this country. None of them have power. That's why only 2 of them are recognized. W's in the chat to Colleen for the $10 Cash App. Please kick this ignorant. I think this was in reference to the last guy. He's already gone. W's in the chat to you, Colleen. Thank you so much. W's in the chat to you. Cool. So let's play a game. I need you to tell me what has to take place. One of the first things that has to take place in order for a third-party candidate or a third party in general to thrive. I mean, actually be able to combat the Democratic or Republican Party.
Well, so the first big thing you're going to want to do is organizations like AIPAC that represent some of the big foreign body lobbying parties. They need to be labeled as a foreign power, as a I'm sorry, I'm looking for the words. I'm sorry. I'm half asleep, man. You need to label them as representing a foreign body or a foreign institution. That's one of the things JFK pushed with AIPAC before he was assassinated. You need to get that done.
Party?
That would help third party because it would take a lot of the capital out of politics.
Okay. So,
you need to have better restrictions on lobbying and a ban on congressmen being allowed to get into lobbying after they're done.
Sure,
another thing you need to do is you need
out
to
of
do
the equation, and there'll still be several other PACs that are significantly funding both sides, and there would still be a monumental issue there. So I think a better answer would have been. Let me see if you
haven't.
Let me see.
You
if
haven't.
You
Let me
agree
finish,
with
my
me.
brother.
I know. Let me see if you agree with me here. Abolish the Electoral College, institute ranked choice voting. Because to be fair, regardless of AIPAC, ranked choice voting would be allowing a third-party candidate to propel to the front just based off of grassroots and policies. And that would be with AIPAC still in play. So AIPAC wouldn't necessarily push forward third-party candidates versus ranked choice voting that would actually put them on the ballot.
I agree with you there on that part. But what I was going with was labeling these institutions like AIPAC. There's a couple other ones. There's the Russia PAC as well, and you have the China PAC. Having them register as representing a foreign body or a foreign institution. To the average, you got to remember, most people in this country are stupid, and they hear the word AIPAC, they don't understand what it means. All right. So having them register as a foreign institution, representing like a foreign body or a foreign government, that would add a little more transparency to their political goals and agendas. You would also want term limits on congressmen, on the House and the Senate. I believe that would get out a lot of like the old boomers that have been up there for the last 40 years that are out of touch with the problems the country is going through. That would be another great way for the third party, for the independents as well. You would have more younger blood up there that's more in touch and in tune with what the country is going through.
Cool.
Did my phone drop?
So every single thing that you just mentioned, which about 2 things, would not do or have as much impact as the one thing that I mentioned. Third party will never get anywhere until they get the right amount of votes, which would require a system that would allow them to be put on the ballot for said votes. That's what ranked choice voting would do. That's what abolishing the Electoral College would do. We've seen several grassroots campaigns, specifically from progressive Democrats in states like Texas with James Tallarico, in places like New York with Zoran Mamdani, to where despite AIPAC, despite all these other institutions, they were still able to rise to the top. So AIPAC and labeling all these institutions to that degree still would not have the same impact as those other factors that I mentioned.
I don't know why we were going on the third party. I wanted to argue Trump sucked from the economics perspective, but
yeah, I mean, I'm well aware of how much Donald Trump sucks. That's the whole point of this live. Hence why I'm going to hang up the phone, because you're a third party voter who wasted it. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. The fuck I care about a third-party voter saying Trump sucks. He didn't suck enough for you to go vote against him. And let me be clear, if you did not vote for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, you supported Donald Trump. Don't care how you spin it. You fucking supported him. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What up, Brett?
So sometimes I feel like you need
an interpreter and everything. So what he said when he first came up, because once I got in the box, I couldn't hear what he was saying. But when he said brosive,
Wait,
so that
hold on. You couldn't hear him?
No, not when I was up in the panel. I couldn't hear him after I joined.
That's not supposed to be shit. It's not supposed to be a thing.
But so that while you're fixing that real quick though, so what he said is brosive. So that is some white slang. I know you don't know that, right? It's like calling someone bro Montana. It's something that we do to make us feel cool because we lack cool.
Choose the speaker to play the sounds of other creators or guest. I gotta go figure out.
It should be in your. So like
other creators or guests to hear the background. Oh, I think it's this.
So it'll be the left side one on the bottom of the studio.
Really quickly, can I get a mod to call me in, please? To call in. If you're over on Tube side, you can call in. If you're not available on Tube side, I'll put the number up here. I think I just fixed it because I had background muted because that's how I had to have it with the last setup. But since we're not doing that anymore, that should fix the issue. Hold on, let me put the number in the chat. I've literally been having sound issues since I started this, and this new mic is doing the same shit.
That didn't change anything, by the way. Whatever you just turned on the mic, it didn't change anything.
Are you hearing this call?
I'm hearing that, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Call from Egg.
Hi, Egg. 1 second. Actually, Egg, say something.
Hi.
You heard
I
that?
can hear.
Okay, I fixed it. Thank you so much, Egg.
Call from.
Kenneth.
To accept, press 1.
Kenneth, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I want to ask, why do you say regret?
It's simple. Do you regret your vote? Do you look at the Trump administration and their
I personally think
actions?
I'm indifferent about it at this point, honestly. Are you the guy on the YouTube channel who's live right now?
The black bald guy in the gray sleeveless top?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw that, like, a lot of people have been talking about this, so I figure might as well pitch my 10 cents in. When it comes to regret versus not regret, I don't regret him, nor do I regret anybody else who's been in our country as the president or has been voted into president. My only question I have right now is why so much focus on him versus everybody else who's done wrong. I get it, it's Trump, but my first inquiry is, you're saying screw Republicans. If you're a medium voter, then that means you still supported Trump. I agree with that, but there's an extent to that. By being so malicious towards people over Trump, I don't think that's going to lead them to one side.
Cool.
Caller, sorry, Hector. I just want to test something real quick. Caller, can you hear me?
Here, man. Like, when I hear that, it's an old thing called the more you persist, the more they insist. And unfortunately, that's just the ignorance of people. A lot of people are very persistent that
the software that I had fucked up.
That's a lot of people are persistent that MAGA's not acting how they do. A lot of people
call me
later. Persistent that
you have Mac or Windows.
ICE is doing a good job right now.
I have Windows, but you can route it through TikTok.
He's our president, and my only question for Democrats right now, more than anything,
did he say 10 cents? Because this is a full $1.25.
Republicans and Democrat, but I still have Democratic beliefs. When it comes to voting, I only ever voted for him on my first term, and that was the first time I was ever able to vote, and that was over some stupidity. Since then, I just stayed out of it.
Did you vote for Donald Trump in the 2024 election?
No, I didn't.
Okay. 2 things. Number 1, you said, why is the focus so much on Trump? And I get it because he's Trump. Clearly, you don't get it. Donald Trump is the sitting president of the United States.
Yes,
so obviously, we would talk about the sitting president of the United States, particularly one who has already been the sitting president of the United States for 4 years prior, particularly one who bragged about grabbing women by the ussy, says the most nonsensical things on the face of the planet, utilizes Truth Social as not only some type of actual government policy platform, but a place where he can attack and threaten Democrats, Iran, anyone he doesn't fucking like, and post propaganda just like the White House websites. I can go down a long list of why people talk about Donald Trump so much. It's quite literally by design. This is how he wants it, and he does enough stuff to keep himself circulating in the news. So that's why.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's the annoying orange. It's why I've always called him.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
But I want to go back to what you said earlier.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
I didn't vote for anybody. I stayed out of it.
Okay. Why?
That's how he can't regret his vote, because he didn't fucking vote.
A. B. I didn't trust Kamala Harris, nor do I trust Trump. B. And C, at the end of the day, I knew this was going to be heated. The only blessing I see Trump getting from being voted in is once he's done, he's done. He can't get reelected. And I will agree with everyone else that him fighting for a third term, I know we have a constitution for a reason. And even George Washington said
Trump supporters request up in the box with the demographic people like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. What was your first reason?
Well, my first reason was I don't trust either of them right now. To
that
me,
was your second reason.
and a lot
you
of
said
people,
you didn't trust Harris or Trump. That was your second.
I didn't trust Harris or Trump. Between the two, they're both crooked, just like when it was Hillary versus Trump. At this point, I'm at a point where I just want people. Because let's go back to what you said earlier. Because I want to focus on what you said earlier. The acting president. I get that. And that is fair. I 100% agree that no matter who's sitting and acting president, they should be talked about. What about those 4 years when Biden was president? No one really talked about him, but everyone was still talking about Trump.
Everyone talked about him on a daily basis, specifically the right.
But it was pretty
they wouldn't shut the fuck up about him.
But that's how people feel about Trump. It's like, that's how I see it.
That's the point. When you're the president, you get a whole lot of eyes on you, and every single move or action or thing you say is nitpicked. Donald Trump even more so, because he keeps saying and doing some of the wildest shit we've ever seen in the Oval Office.
And I will agree. Half the time when it comes to Trump and to any Trump supporter right now listening to me, I'm going to say this as someone who once voted for him the first term. I'm not going to lie, this is out of my biased opinion. If he can just get bitch slapped once and just told to shut up, stay off social media, and do his job, he'd probably be fine.
I don't disagree. W's in the chat to Izzy for the $3 Venmo going towards the therapy/ashwagandha fund. Much appreciated, Izzy. It's needed today. Funny enough, I'm out of ashwagandha, so...
You want to see something that'll make you feel better, though?
What do you got?
Look at the shirt.
Hey, W to the 10 Commandments shirt. Speaking of,
where can like I know how I got this, but where could somebody else find it? Because I mean, look at this, fits perfect, everything.
Absolutely. I will tell the people exactly where they can get that shirt. So, guys, if you go to hectorshops.com with 2 R's, hectorshops.com with 2 R's, you can get yourself this shirt specifically, and that is from the 10 Commandments line. If you would like to know what the 10 Commandments are, they're the 10 Commandments for MAGA, okay? Brett, would you like to read the 10 Commandments to the base here?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So it starts
Actually, hold on. I got something for this. I got something for this. One second. I got to get you some music. Because we're about to take him to church. Let me see. Let's see.
You want me to church it up?
Yeah, we're about to church it up, bro. Let me just find it, okay? Let me just find my music as we go over the 10 Commandments for the base. All right, here we go. Hold on. 3, 2, 1.
The first of the 10 Commandments: defy God, deny reality, curb dissent. One must shun empathy, suppressing our freedoms, rejecting climate change. One must worship whiteness, disparage foreign allies, violate the Constitution, and last but certainly not least, enable fascism. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Praise be.
Praise be. If you'd like to get that of many other lines of merch we have available on my shop, you can visit hectorshops.com with 2 R's, and you can get yourself anything that you would like for 10% off purchase of any order that you make. You may use the code WEALLWIN. Again, that is WEALLWIN. I will put that down in the chat here for you guys to get 10% off your entire order, and any order over 100 automatically gets 25% off your entire purchase. With that being said, Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic people we'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Charlie, did you vote for Trump?
No, but my parents did, and I've been trying to change their mind.
That was my moderator. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter.
Someone said that was too convincing. Guys, I was raised Southern Baptist. I could have gotten even worse. I could have straight up hit it with and I say unto you, my brothers, we must deny God. Like I could have went heavy with that. That's how I was raised, guys.
You really could have. I think I've heard you do it before. Let me tell you something about Brett Cross, okay? While we're waiting on Trump supporters to get their balls out of Donald Trump's purse. Brett Cross had a man pray over me in tongues, okay?
Yes, I did.
In his live, he had a Trump supporter pray over me in tongues. And I've been telling him to make that fucking clip and get it uploaded. We're still waiting on it, bro.
Do you remember the day? I can go and clip it.
Shit.
Did you text me about it? Like we had to have had some sort of reminder. I'll go look through and I'll clip it and I'll send it to you so you can play it.
If I didn't text you about it, I may have posted it on my story, so I have to go get archives and I'll see what I can find.
Absolutely, yeah. We had him. Not just once, but I got him to double down and do it again.
Yeah, he did it twice. We had somebody in the live.
Oh, it was the greatest thing ever. That actually preceded the flat Earth, science fiction, time travel,
everything.
Oh,
I don't even talk about that anymore. I don't even care. That shit was gold. That shit was gold. Not Cheeky saying Brett got tongued. Goodness gracious.
We put on the fake tears too.
Everything.
But oh my God.
Guys, there are 771 people in the live. I saw we got up to 1,000 earlier. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Upon hitting that follow button, it'll give you an option to become a fan club member. Send your daily heart music if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Send your daily heart music if you haven't already. You get a couple cool stickers when you do, such as this one right here. This is my favorite one to spam in the chat whenever someone says something stupid. That one right there. Share out the live with your friends and family. Repost, add to your story. Let's knock out the little 1-cent gift goes there so we can level up, get us boosted out in the FYP. And then, of course, consider becoming a super fan if you would like. Better yet, subscribe in the Discord community. We're over 700 members strong. It's cheaper. You get more perks and better. Finally, the best ways to support the platform is going to be those links in the bio. Whether you want to follow me on all social media platforms, such as YouTube that we're dual streaming to right now, or Instagram where I post the videos I put up here. Join the Discord community. As I mentioned before, we're having a movie night tomorrow night, Wicked for Good, roughly 7:30 p.m. depending on the vote that they put in. Get yourself some merchandise off the shop, HectorTalksWith2Rs.com. It's not HectorTalksWith2Rs.com, HectorShops.com with 2 Rs. Excuse me, and use the discount codes available. Or if you like to donate directly to the stream, whether you want to send a message, just support what we got going on here, or just say hi to my cute face, you may do so at Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 Rs on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. And if you're over on the tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. W's in the chat to Stacy for the $3 Venmo. Jesus fucking Christ, the damage Trump has done will take decades to repair. This dude is a moron. Yeah, I'm going to say what I said about you third-party voters, and don't call in after this because I'm just going to hang up the phone immediately, okay? You guys did not help the country, and you're not helping the country every single year. You don't stop the powers that will...
To accept, press 1.
Sounded
To
like a
send a
child.
voicemail, press 2.
Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
Date of birth?
Vagina.
You can't talk about third-party candidates getting any power whatsoever when the same structures that kept them below that 5% vote still exist. And this idea that they're ever going to get the money and the capital and the awareness to move that much people every 4 years when they do absolutely nothing in between federal elections, no, it's not going to happen. So let's talk about ending Citizens United. Let's talk about AIPAC, sure. Let's talk about getting money out of politics, but we also have to have a serious conversation about abolishing the Electoral College and ranked choice voting. Otherwise, it goes nowhere every single time. With that being said, never regretting my vote. I just sent you an invite, great, because I can give you several reasons as to why you should. It's not hard.
Hey, Hector, I did need to say something. You don't do redactions the same way I do, correct? Or do you?
For friendlies, no. But I mean, obviously, anyone wants to redact you for all the shit you give me. That is always an option.
So what I was gonna say is like how how you come in and you like taunt my people and everything, and you're like, ain't nobody gonna drop me and everything like that.
And I'm right.
Which is cool sometimes, but I guarantee you, ain't nobody gonna hit that 20 up to drop me. I guarantee it.
Oh, you don't know my people.
Oh, I do. I do.
And
I know that I'm loved more than you, Hector. Because listen, I've got hair and you don't.
Oh.
So I'm calling it out.
Oh.
I don't think y'all ain't nobody gonna drop me.
Oh, okay.
I'll even give it 5 minutes. You want to put the little 5-minute timer on me?
I'll set a timer on you. I'll set a timer on you. So
set that timer on me. I ain't going nowhere.
So Brett Cross woke up today and chose violence. Okay. And Brett Cross really thinks he got shit on me. Hey Brett.
Yo, what's good? You gonna set that timer? It ain't already. You ain't doing nothing. Now read it first.
Get you to set today. Talk a lot of shit, Brett. What do you have to say for yourself, Brett?
I gotta say there's 834 people in here and ain't nobody dropping. And I will say this, you want me to read it out before you do? Because it's not gonna happen.
Hey, Brett.
Yo, what's up, man?
Thank you, Shauna, for the $20 that says redact Brett.
I'm sorry, don't count.
W's in the chat to Jordan for the $20. Drop Brett. I just want to let you know, and I counted, roughly 11 seconds after you said that, you got dropped. 11 seconds. You didn't even know that was the drop song. That motherfucker didn't even know that was the drop song. 11 seconds. 11 seconds they got you up out the paint, dog. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Great. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Great. I invited you to unmute. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Yes.
And you already said in the comments that you do not regret your vote. Cool,
no.
Cool. Let me give you a reason as to why you should. Any chance you're a Christian? Great.
I'm Catholic.
You're a Catholic. All praise be to Jesus, right?
That's right.
Okay. And you guys uphold like the Pope as some religious figure, right?
Do I uphold the Pope? No, I don't, because the Pope is a man.
Well, it's about Catholicism. Your religion literally regards the Pope as a higher figure. But yes, we are aware of the fact that he's a man. He is a man that would have a divine touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why do you support the man who not only tries to equate himself to the Pope, but shits on him regularly and even went as far as to comparing himself to Jesus recently?
Because I'm able to look through all that stuff. Listen, and I'm gonna be respect. I hope this is respectful because I've been on lives where people just start name calling and stuff, and I'm being respectful. I see through all the stuff. I'm old enough to see what somebody's doing. I mean, it's like it's sleight of hand, it's diversion, it's distraction, it's whatever. I don't see the seriousness in it, and any of that you just mentioned. It's not relevant to me or what I do every day.
So Donald Trump's Truth Social post was a distraction and diversion?
That's all he does, and everybody bites. And next thing you know, 37,000 lives on TikTok are all devoted to looking at that. Why?
Yeah. What is he trying to distract or divert from?
What is he trying? Whatever he wants. I mean, all he's got to do is say one thing, and there's lives everywhere. Everybody in the media goes nuts.
I'm saying,
and then
what
wants.
would the quote unquote most transparent administration in history be trying to distract and divert the American people's attention from?
Specifically, nothing that I know of. It's just he just throws things out there to keep everybody riled up, and everybody bites it. So maybe it's not distracting something. It's just here, listen to this or look at this, and next thing you know, for 36 hours, that's all everybody talks about. But it's just not relevant to life.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
The allegation that Donald Trump does this stuff to distract and divert is very much true, but you followed up with basically saying that it is
God bless
some sort of
you.
control, or it's just to keep himself in the news or whatever the case may be. But Donald Trump even knows when he messes up after deleting several problematic posts that he's made. Sometimes he follows up with doubling down on the bullshit, and then other times he just lies his ass off. But I find it interesting that you said you see past the actions that I went over with you, such as depicting himself as Jesus Christ. I don't know how you, as a Catholic, would see past Donald Trump's blasphemy.
So actually, today he came out and said the opposite of all that. So, which is why I'm telling you, it's not relevant.
What did he say?
He said I wasn't doing it. I was there as whatever he called himself. It wasn't the Pope. He said. I saw it in passing today. Today was kind of a busy day, but I saw he said I wasn't being the Pope. I was being whatever. I don't even know what he said it was, but it wasn't the Pope.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have that at my fingertips, but I saw him give a reason, or he explained it.
I can play it for you.
At this point, it's like, what does it matter? I mean, honestly, what does it matter?
I can play it for you. I have.
That's fine.
I have that video. Right.
Whatever he came back and said, it was. I think he reposted something.
Post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, that's it. I heard it today.
Okay. Yes. Let's talk about what he actually meant, and we're gonna play a little. Game, a little experiment. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Wonderful. Great. Let me make this big. Right here. Perfecto. Guys, if you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner.
Post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ.
Well, it wasn't depiction. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it. And I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor, making people better. And I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going for.
Okay, and I say this respectfully. The electorate.
Post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ.
Well, it wasn't depiction. It was me.
Go ahead.
So I say this respectfully. I have 2 cats. I shine the laser light on the wall all the time just to mess with them. And I don't know why I do it. It's just funny to watch them jump on the wall when they're never going to get the laser light. That's all he's doing. And I wish people would just stop biting on it. But they do. It's like not really relevant. Think about it, though, honestly, in your daily life. These quotes or this picture, is it really relevant to what you do every day when you wake up?
Very. Where do you see the nurse or doctor in this photo?
Do I? I don't know. He said the Red Cross, so he's probably talking about the one to the right. I don't know. Or the one. It doesn't. Like I said, it's not really relevant to me. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So he said he was trying to depict himself as a doctor.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, a member of his base.
Sure.
Where do you see the doctor in this photo?
I guess that would be him with the hand on it, on the forehead. I don't know.
What about?
I guess that's what he's calling himself.
What about his hand on his forehead makes him look like a doctor?
I don't know. When I was sick, the doctor came in and took my fever and put his hand on my Forehead.
Checking your temperature. Okay, cool. We'll go with that. Yeah, they can put their hand on your forehead
Correct.
to check the temperature.
They check you out.
Got you. But I would say the bright lights in his hands, specifically in both of them, one being put on the forehead and the next being in the left hand, would depict something else, not just checking the temperature. Would that be a fair assessment?
Well, technically, if I look at the left hand, that's the sunlight behind him. His arm is separated from his body. It could be the sun poking through his back.
Okay. I'm sorry. So now, okay. So
Good.
the bright beaming light specifically in his left hand that is separate from the light that would be in the background that would reflect sunlight somehow are the same thing peeking through this photo.
It could be. Anything in the world is possible.
It could be. Yes, anything is possible. Not everything is probable. Okay, cool. So do you see the nurse in the bottom right corner?
Sure.
That would be someone you can equate to being in the medical field, a doctor or a nurse. And Donald Trump said he was trying to look like one of them, right? And instead, he is in this white garb with a red robish thing over his body. So
exactly.
I guess I'm just a little confused as
maybe he's a doctor in the Middle East.
Maybe he's a doctor in the Middle East. I can assure you it's not how
I gotta be honest with you. I
East
can't even believe I'm having this conversation about this picture because, like I said, I worry about every day when I wake up what I have to do and think this just isn't relevant. This is him shining light on the wall and me and you are chasing the light right now.
Okay.
That's how I feel about this.
So,
let me ask you this question. For everything, and I've answered everything you've asked, and you asked why my vote was, I would never, ever regret it. The only regret I would ever have is if I voted for Kamala Harris based on what I saw about her in that 3 months. And first of all, I'm a history major. I grew up in it. I grew up in civics. I was going to be a teacher. It didn't happen, but that's what I grew up in. To put someone in that seat without giving the people the opportunity to vote for her in a primary, to me, was the most disrespectful thing to the American people you could ever do based on the system that we have. They didn't give the people a choice. They just put someone there, which I thought was civically, and I mean civics as far as history and government, is wrong. So not to mention she was a train wreck as a candidate, but what they did was wrong. And listen, there are a couple of Democrats that I might vote for had they been in that spot.
I have someone up on the line. Hold, please.
Sure.
Back to you. Two things. The reason why we went through that little exercise with the photo is because I like to point out that Trump supporters often say people like me suffer from TDS or Trump derangement syndrome. So I like to flip it back on them. And what we just saw in real time with the loops and bounds and mental gymnastics you just played to excuse or water down the actions of that post was an example of TDS. So thank you for confirming that with me. Secondly, I put a big smile on my face when you mentioned Kamala Harris because I love talking about Kamala Harris. She's actually the reason why I started getting into political content creation. And you have quite a few things to say about her, and you've been civil mostly. So I want to talk
Mostly.
about that. I want to talk about Kamala Harris with you. Okay, you mentioned the primaries, right? We didn't have a primaries, so I have a couple questions.
Sure.
What exactly did you want to see happen in the 107 days?
What I wanted to see in 107 days, not what they did, not just put someone there. First of all, they should have never had the guy there because now it's come out that he never should have even been in office because they knew he was nuts, or not nuts. I shouldn't say nuts. I should say physically deteriorated or mentally deteriorated. They knew that, they left him in, so be it. Then they tried to run him again, which they never should have did. They should have just put her in from the beginning. That would have been fair. It would have given people a chance in the primary. And the reason why I really say this is that in the last election, she got zero in the primary. Zero in the first primary.
We've seen several. Oh, yeah, of course it is. We've seen several reports of people, yes, very much talking about the fact that he had many slip-ups. We saw them on live television. No one's sitting here saying that Biden was in perfect mental shape and everything else. What we are saying was that Joe Biden was an old man, and he did the right thing after the debate, which gave Kamala Harris the opportunity to run in for him. That would be literally one of her jobs as a vice president. So, again, you didn't answer mine. By the way,
what's that?
When I asked you, what did you expect them to do in 107 days?
I expected them to run a primary.
You expected them to run a primary in 107 days.
I expect with the we have this technological age where they could have did anything. They could have put any candidates up there and held a quick primary something, anything to give the people any kind of choice.
Despite the vice president's literal job being to take over for the president in emergency or unprecedented situations.
That's different. That's not running for an election.
Yeah,
they didn't give the people.
But the vice president's
the
job
opportunity
is to take over
who they
for the
want.
president. Also, we very much did give the people the opportunity. 81 million people. 81 million people in 2020 voted for Joseph Robinette Biden. Those people also voted.
Listen, dude, I'm a numbers guy. The numbers still don't add up.
Oh, that's fascinating. Sure.
So it was 81 million, right? But how many?
And they voted
votes
for
did Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris on the ticket as well. When they voted for Joe Biden, they voted for Kamala Harris.
See,
on
that's
the
the
vice
misconception.
presidential ticket.
That's where you're wrong.
I'm sorry.
They
How
didn't
am I
vote.
wrong?
They did not vote for those two. They voted against.
They did
Donald
vote
Trump.
for those two.
No, they voted not for them to be. They voted against Donald Trump.
You can phrase it however you want to.
That's how they voted.
The
They
votes
could have
were
ran
counted
Mickey
for
Mouse
Joe
and Minnie
Biden,
Mouse.
so I
They would have
really
voted-
don't care about your phrasing.
81 million people would have voted for Minnie and Mickey Mouse.
Follow up to 2024 with 107 days left. Joe Biden stepped out because he was a stubborn prick who fucked us over. Let's be real. And then
Did he really step out, or
Madam
was he
Vice
forced out?
President Kamala Harris. He
was
stepped
forced
out
out.
because he was literally being stubborn and fighting them long before the presidential debate or the presidential candidate debates. And then Kamala Harris stepped up. Kamala Harris invited Democrats to run against her before the DNC took place in August, and not a single person tried. So I find it interesting how the people didn't have a chance to choose who they wanted, despite the fact that the candidates or no candidate gave the people a quote unquote option to choose because they refused to run against her.
Do you think it was smart to choose her? Because
Yes.
at this point,
I
it was a
think it was.
choice.
God bless
You don't think anybody would have done better than her? None of those other candidates would have
Who
done
would
better
have
than
done better than her is irrelevant. Sure, I can have my preferred.
It's a
candidate, but she
popularity
was the vice
contest.
president. Yeah,
But it's a
and all those
popularity
people with all
contest.
the popularity in the world didn't have the balls to do what she did.
her. You give her way too much credit.
I don't. Hi, Ari.
You do. I think if you just to hear her speak, when the stuff she says, I'm like, seriously.
Oh.
The biggest line of hypocrisy that I ever hear, but I don't really want to dig into that part. Hi, Hector. Hi, Fran.
Hey.
What I wanted to come up here is just kind of remind people how this process works. Hector or Great, I don't know what your name is, GR. I don't know if either one of you know the answer. I do, so I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys let me know which one is the correct answer. What date did Joe Biden step down from the presidential race?
June or July?
Waiting for the other guy to give his thoughts? Or is he just... Okay. Well, I guess maybe he's Googling it or something. It was
No.
July 21st, to be
I don't need
exact.
to Google it.
Okay. So
not
July
relevant.
21st, to be exact. This actually is very relevant.
Okay.
Do you know what date, either one of you, that the DNC, so the Democratic National Convention, needed to know or have the names of all potential candidates for delegates to throw their weight behind by for the DNC that actually occurred on August 11th? Do you know what date they needed those names by?
Was it 2 weeks before then?
No idea. No idea.
The 31st
Great.
of July.
So you're
That was
assuming they
close.
can have changed it based on the presidential candidate changing?
Hey,
The
accent. No one was
DNC
talking
has
to you.
rules just like the RNC has rules, and absolutely, because the DNC was already scheduled, tickets were already sold, and everybody was already scheduled to come up and speak for August 11th. No, they couldn't change it.
So that's all because
Thank
everything
you.
was scheduled. It's important to just keep her there because we wouldn't want to change the schedule. God forbid to put somebody in there more
I
qualified.
feel
You know,
like
maybe if you would let me get to my point, I could actually explain where I was going with this.
That, and I
Okay.
feel like
What's up,
responding
brother?
to what you said with a statement like that, completely ignoring the fact that, again, never mind. Go ahead, Ari.
DNC and RNC both have their own rules. They're both private entities comparatively to all the rest of us, right? But no, 10 days is not enough time to make a national election happen for primaries immediately. Kamala Harris did her due diligence. She called other candidates that had ran against the actual DNC primary that occurred February of 2024 for the DNC candidates. And there were just two other older men that said, "No, I'm good." They didn't decide to go and run through it, right, to contest. Even though she did not get all of the delegation, like all of the delegates from every single state and all of the territories that have delegates to pledge to a candidate, she didn't get, I want to say, 5 or 6 delegates in total out of all of them that were available. So they did not all throw their weight behind her. But even then, when you go and vote in a primary, you're voting for the delegates to cast the weight behind the candidate of your choosing. I'll just remind everybody that even in the state of Nevada, on the Republican primary, Donald Trump's name was not listed. And yet, the delegates in Nevada said, we're going to throw our weight behind Trump, even though he wasn't on the list, because the DNC broke their own rules.
Crazy. Interesting.
Or the RNC broke their own rules. I do apologize for that. But I find it funny, right? And this is more for me and you, Hector, that guest at the bottom, GR, whatever his name is, made a comment saying that, or alluding to the fact that somehow the 2020 election was question mark, but also made a comment to say that in the age of our advanced technology of 2024, we could have done a nationwide primary prior to the cutoff dates for all of the states to make their ballots. Wait, but
so real quick while you're mocking someone, which I haven't mocked anyone, but real quick while you're doing that, do you recall that President Obama himself wanted to have a primary process and not put, which caused her to be very angry with the Obamas because they didn't initially back her. He wanted to have some sort of primary process to himself wanted it.
Yeah,
so
sure. I would love for you to substantiate that. W's in the chat to Jolie for the $5 Venmo. Just because you're so fine. Thank you so much, Jolie. I appreciate you. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Ashley for the $3 Cash App for the Jesus/Doctor/Red Cross Worker Education Fund. All the funds. W's in the chat to you, Ashley. W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo, or PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. While Ari's here, please make sure we're taking care of her as well. Let's get her over 1,000 coins. And also her links are available in the bio. Please make sure we're taking care of her as well. One more. W's in the chat to Sean for the $20 super chat. MAGAs are whining about the Jesus pick, but Trump's portrayal of the Obamas was funny. I'll stay atheist. Yep. Felt there, buddy. Felt there. W's in the chat to you. Sorry, go ahead. He said something about the Obamas winning a primary. I'm curious. I'm just going to help him along with this Google search.
Yeah, that's a new one. Yeah. But what I remember occurring, it was like 24 hours after her announcing it. I'm pretty sure they put on Twitter that they were supporting her and throwing their weight behind her.
Let's see. Yes, so this is something that was reported in a book. A new book claims that after President Joe Biden dropped out of the 2024 race, former President Barack Obama doubted Vice President Kamala Harris could win and opposed her receiving the Democratic nomination. According to the book, Obama instead pushed for an open primary. NBC News reporter Jonathan Allen and The Hill reporter Amy Parnes discussed their new book on MSNBC. Quote, he also didn't want Kamala Harris to be the replacement for Biden, Allen said. He didn't think that she was the best choice for Democrats, and he worked really behind the scenes for a long time to try to have a mini primary or an open convention or a mini primary leading to an open convention. He was really working against her. Allen and Parnes alleged that on the day Biden dropped out the race, Obama spoke with Harris but was not willing to endorse her. The book also claims Obama was working the phones against Harris in the days leading up to his eventual public endorsement, which came 5 days after Biden's withdrawal. Okay. In one moment, he had set up a phone call with Congressman Jim Clyburn from South Carolina on the day that Joe Biden handed off the baton to Kamala Harris, and Obama had set up a call with Clyburn for 5:30 that afternoon. Clyburn thought to himself, this guy's going to try to rope me into the open convention thing. I better get my endorsement of Harris out there fast. So this is a short conversation, the book states. Cool. So I don't know.
Makes sense because Clyburn does have all the weight in that party when it came to it. Clyburn's very strong in the party.
Yeah.
He just says.
I don't know who these two people are, what their significance is to Joe Biden or President Barack Obama and his opinions, but I don't know why you want me to run with that.
I didn't say to run with that. I was just bringing that up. That the guy who he's basically was the figurehead of the party for what, 8 for 12. Geez, he still is. If you ask me, that he didn't endorse her. So I mean, I'm just saying what I saw and what most people and even friends that I have that were Democrats were like, well, I have to vote for her because I'm never voting for Trump, but she's not my choice.
Yeah. So check this out. Even
and I didn't
if,
get a choice, is what a lot of my
what
friends
these
said.
two reporters are alleging are true, even if that's the case, this would be what, a 5-day debacle that took place versus the rest of the campaign where he sang her praises from the rooftops, where he and his wife literally endorsed her when they talked about the threat of the Trump administration. And now we want to fall back on maybe allegedly 5 days where he questioned these actions.
Yeah, I sent you the X post too, by the way.
Okay. Oh yeah, the endorsement. I just find it interesting. So did he just put on that all for show? Is that what you're alleging?
It was what I'm alleging? No, it's just what I witnessed around that time, and then obviously what is being reported now. So I don't know. I mean, it goes back to my original point. Do I think she was the best candidate for them to even put there? No, and I think somebody else probably had a better chance of winning than her.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Cool.
Just my opinion.
Well, that's not
she
what
wasn't
happened.
very likable when she ran before, and she wasn't very likable this time. And her interviews were horrible. So she didn't help herself at all.
Which
or help the party. What's that?
Which interview?
Pick one. The NBC one was the best. Well, the other one they edited. The one where they asked her, even The View, where it should have been friendly ground. Is there anything you would have changed? No. Okay. So for 4 years, that was
that question.
That is.
No,
I mean, I've told you 3 places.
She never said no in the View interview that you're referencing. In fact,
there's nothing I would have changed. That's a no.
She literally followed up at the end of her interview. No, and she didn't say that either. She followed up at the end of the interview saying exactly something that she would change. And her answer in the moment was that nothing comes to mind. And then she proceeded to rattle off the accomplishments of said administration. So she could not think of anything that she would have regretted.
Right. So that's a no. I mean, that's semantics.
About the good that they did.
We're playing semantics.
America.
Dude, listen. Here's my issue. You were interrupting Hector while he was also trying to stop. You were interrupting Hector while he was in the middle of a sentence, and he was explaining that in that exact moment, she said, not that I can think of in this moment, but towards the end of the interview, she gave a critique and what she would change. If you had actually stopped and listened for 5 seconds, you would have heard that.
Okay. Thank you for being condescending again. So I appreciate you pointing that out.
Man, he's just all up in his feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not in feelings. I don't give 2 shits, but you're very condescending in the way you talk, and my kids don't talk the way you do. So I see it when I see it, and I call it out. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry I have to talk to you like a child.
Do you spank
Usually
your
what
kids?
happens from the left. What's that?
Do you spank your kids?
Do I?
Yeah.
They're 28 and 24, so I would probably say no. Did they get spankings? Hell yeah. I'm in the South.
W's in the chat to poking for the $5 super chat. Always remember the only countries that voted against access to food as a basic human right was Israel and the United States. We can also talk about the vote recently condemning chattel slavery. That was crazy. W's in the chat to Kristen for the $5 super chat. What is guest's opinion on Paris' rendition of Last Supper at the Olympics? Bet he won't be honest. I don't know. W's in the chat to Berkeley for the $1 Venmo. As a believer who inquired Catholicism, because I possibly come up and talk to guests. My username is B_Michelle_ no worries. If not, sir, bless America. America. Thank you so much, Sean. I mean, he said he thought it was all a big troll and it's irrelevant, so I don't want to go back to that, but thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Okay, cool. So I find this entire conversation about how she was picked and everything else to be irrelevant because, once again, the only person who actually tried to run against her when she invited them to do so was Marianne Williamson, a third-party candidate who dropped out a couple weeks prior, and per the rules, you couldn't enter back in. So again, no one tried to run against her. Asking the Democratic Party to push this thing when no one even had the balls to do so doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And in this interviews that you're referencing, she did an exceptional job answering many questions. No, she wasn't the most well-spoken and perfect, but considering that you guys think Donald Trump is such a great man and he gives the best answers whatsoever to every single question, I find your criticism of her interviews to be hypocritical as fuck.
Okay, I'm crying. You said she gave excellent interviews. Come on, man. Listen, I can tell you. Here, let's do this. I'll
What is
tell you.
one question
He
that
is
she did
horrible.
not answer?
He is the way he speaks and the way he does things with these reporters, and some of these way he just goes off on a tangent. I cringe, and I'm not. He is the worst, one of the worst interviewers ever. But it's who he is. But to say that, and I'll give you that, to say she was excellent in interviews, come on,
She was
dude.
excellent
Seriously?
in interviews.
What?
I didn't say she answered every question perfectly, but I thought she did a great job when she went on Fox News. Literally went into the Lion's Den and went back and forth on their propaganda. She did a pretty good job at the CNN town hall, except for that question in regards to the border wall funding. Her answer was pathetic. I'll give you that. Everything else, she did fine.
Everything else, okay. Then I must be okay. Then it just must be me. Okay.
No, I'm just asking you to give me one question that she answered poorly.
Let's see. Jesus. Well, I don't have it all at my fingertips. I know the coconut tree thing made me laugh my ass off. It's just there was nothing serious about her answers.
The biggest one, the debate with Donald Trump. Do you think Donald Trump won that debate? Do you think she embarrassed herself on the debate stage?
I don't think she gave anything that would have promoted her as being any better than him. She had to be better than him because it was a popularity contest, and she wasn't.
First off, she actually had a position on healthcare. Donald Trump said he had concepts. She had a position on foreign affairs. She had a position on actually ending the war in Gaza by giving us two-state solution versus Donald Trump saying that we need to cut them a blank check to quote-unquote finish the job. He called her comments on saying that she doesn't stand for the atrocities happening to the Palestinian people. He called her comments disrespectful. You can talk about the fact that she went over how tariffs would be inflationary and bring up the average cost of goods to the American consumer, and his tax plan would bring up the national debt to a crazy amount. I don't see.
Well, she just must be amazing. She's just amazing, and there's all there is to it. We're not gonna agree on that, so I'll just give you that.
Yeah,
she was the greatest candidate that ever could have put forward.
Amazing or not, you have yet to give a valid criticism of her. That's what I'm looking for. I don't expect you to get on your knees.
I did give you a valid criticism of her. She's horrible when she's asked the question.
Again,
she was horribly unprepared. She didn't. She talked in circles. She didn't give anything of any substance.
What question did she not answer?
Pick one. Let's tell you what. I'll challenge you. Go watch her interviews and try to watch them objectively. And go and when they ask her the questions about economy,
of one of her
no.
I literally gave you a criticism of her.
So let's just leave it at this. Let's leave it at this. You think she was great. I watched and listened to her speak. I thought she sounded worse than a third grader could talk and answer these questions, which sometimes he's no better. But to say she was excellent, you and I will just never agree on that. We won't.
Yeah. Again, I'm not asking you to agree that she's excellent. She was infinitely better than Donald Trump.
Well, shit, an 8th grader I know is better than him in interviews. It doesn't make a difference.
I'm not talking about just interviews. I'm saying overall.
Okay. Well, we are woefully.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is I'm going to read you just a portion of a response Donald Trump gave to a question. And I want you to tell me what the question was that he was asked, okay?
Sure.
They said 1 year ago, your country was dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. These are the leaders of other countries, the prime ministers and the presidents, every one of them said essentially the same thing, said we had a dead country and we felt that way and this place is emblematic of it with the crime, the horrific crime. And I watched these phony reports. We were on the way back, but they weren't on the way back. It was worse than ever just a short while ago, but now it's going to be, I think right now, it is better than it has been in years. And in a couple of weeks, it's going to be far better than that. And everyone is safe now. Everybody feels safe and they are coming in and people are now coming in and they are making reservations to come and they want to be in Washington, D.C. One of the things we are going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world. And we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems, and the best you can buy. And just like the Augusta, it will look like Augusta. It will look like, more importantly, like Trump National Golf Club. That's even better.
What was the question?
I don't know, but that was awesome.
bet you think so.
Can I be 1,000,000% honest with you? I could care less what the question was. It doesn't really matter because I've already stipulated that his interviews aren't great. So you're asking a question about something I've already answered. I agree. He's not a great interviewer. So what? Yeah. You win. Point taken. There you go.
Ari, I really want to know what the question was.
Oh, it was a question about fucking hell. It was a question about. Sorry, I'm just laughing a little bit. It was a question about how long the National Guard was going to be in Washington, D.C.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Alrighty. And always had her turn. I'm going to have mine. This is what happened when Donald Trump was asked about childcare. Okay?
And the final question, Resma, is to you.
Thank you. President Trump, you talked about how the increase in the price of food, gas, and rent is hurting families. But the real cost that's breaking families' backs and preventing women from participating in the workforce is childcare. Childcare is now more expensive than rent for working families and is costing the economy more than $122 billion a year, making it one of the most urgent economic issues that is facing our country. In fact, the cost of childcare is outpacing the cost of inflation, with the majority of American families of young children spending more than 20% of their income on childcare. One thing that Democrats and Republicans have in common is that both parties talk a lot about what they're going to do to address the childcare crisis.
Holy crap, just
but
ask the
neither
question.
party has delivered meaningful change. If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country. Because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be getting in trillions of dollars, and as much as childcare is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. So we'll take care of it. Thank you. Very good question. Thank you.
Childcare is childcare. Those numbers are relatively insignificant.
But, Kamala Harris did so poorly at, her interviews, so couldn't vote for her.
She did. Yeah. So, yes, they both did. So, yes. So I chose one over the other. It's what it is. It's called what we do here.
But then that's not the true defining factor. That's not really what did it for you. If you acknowledge that both were bad at interviewing, so what is the true defining factor for why you couldn't throw in your vote for Harris? You weren't going to vote in the Democratic primary. You've already made that very clear. So that's irrelevant That's irrelevant as well. So the DNC primary, irrelevant for you. Also irrelevant are the interview questions and bad answers. So what is the true defining factor?
The true defining factor is the ideologies are way different. So he asked me at the beginning, was I a Catholic? I'm like, yes, I am. So when you have an abortion bus in front of your DNC deal, I can't go with that. I can't deal with that. That's one of the things I can't deal with. I can't deal with the abortion issue.
How many abortions did they perform that day?
I was told 22, but I don't know. Exactly, but I know it was there. So if people who are actually on the left are proclaiming that and putting that out there, are you saying it didn't happen? So it didn't happen. So that
What
bus
didn't
wasn't
happen?
there. People
bus
weren't coming
was-
out. So the camera of people coming out saying how happy they were, they just got an abortion, that none of that happened. You're saying none of it visually happened.
Wait, hold on.
You're saying none of it happened.
Did you say?
Okay, so
that
listen,
there's video-
y'all are both
One second.
condescending pricks,
No,
and I'm not going to be involved
I've
in this
never
shit
heard
anymore.
this before.
You two.
Are you saying? Are you gonna run? Are you gonna fucking run? You said
Yeah, he's running.
there are videos of people getting out of the abortion bus at the DNC saying, "I'm so happy I got my abortion." Is that what you said?
That's what I heard, but he's in the middle of running.
Hey, buddy, if you want to leave the panel, you can say, "I'm leaving," and I will drop you down. This teacup thing still shows you being here in the app, okay? Yeah, I know the volume thing, guys. I gotta figure it out. Thank you, Melly Mal, for the Easter Bunny. I appreciate you. There is video footage of people coming out of an abortion bus, and there he went.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. No, say it with your chest. She had to be better than Trump because of the same old. Ooh. Why am I struggling with that word? Hold on. Oh, please. Oh, please.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Adage.
Adage. Because of the same old adage. Black people have to be twice as good just to be considered equal. W's in the chat to you, Melvin. W's in the chat to you. Yeah. So Ari, would you like to respond on the abortion bus comment?
Yeah, so it was, yes, it was, I believe it was a Planned Parenthood bus. And no, you can't perform an abortion in the back of a bus. Could they have prescribed mifepristone and then mifepristol? Absolutely. They could have prescribed it and then given it to them and advised them to then go and check in with their doctor after they've taken it. But no, they weren't just performing abortions in the back of the bus. They were doing free health checks like mammograms, like checking, for lumps. Also pap smears, because that's highly important as well.
Yeah. People were having abortions in the bus at the DNC. Even if they were, how does that impact your wallet?
I mean, it impacts it more than childcare, so.
Guys, I'm tired of going over this with people because Lord knows I've had my fair share of criticism for Kamala Harris. The problem with any criticism that you would have for her, while it may be valid in some cases, is that if we put her up against Donald Trump, I don't give a fuck. There is no possible way you can objectively look at those two people, and more specifically, fuck the people, let's talk about that. Every single time we have a conversation about what made Kamala Harris bad, is it ever about her policies in the 82-page document, A New Way Forward for the Middle Class?
Yeah, it's never about the policies.
Is it ever about the accomplishments that she very much did have as a vice president, or things she supported under Biden's administration that overwhelmingly benefited Americans? Chips in science, infrastructure. Is it any of that?
No, because those are bad things,
No. It's always the cackle, the interviews, Megan Thee Stallion dancing at an event, accent changes. It's just interesting. With Donald Trump, you guys can talk about policy, tariff, this, that. And then with Kamala Harris, it's about her fucking laugh.
I love the tariffs.
Absolutely ridiculous. Guys, let's get Ari above 1,000 coins while she's hanging out with us for a little bit. She never hangs out with us, bro. Let's take care of her. Don't fucking embarrass me in front of my guest.
No, it's because you're on either while I'm still, participating in the unfortunate reality of capitalism or going live,
Yeah, it's always a damn thing. So make sure we're taking care of her while she is here. Her links are also available in her bio if you'd like to donate to her. W Unamused Monica, that's what I'm talking about. Crikes, did you vote for Donald Trump?
Pretty.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, did you vote for Donald Trump?
I didn't vote for Trump, but I have criticisms both ways. I guess the two things that I wanted to ask are what are you guys' priorities for what a president should be doing? Like if you had to rank the top 3 things that you care about.
Not tearing up the Constitution and using it as toilet paper.
Oh, wait, if I don't mute my mic, we'll have an echo.
Oh, that wasn't you. It was Robert, I believe.
Robert, did you vote for Trump? Robert, did you vote for Trump? I think Robert didn't mean to be up here. Go ahead, Ari.
Oh, okay. I was going to say my thing, and I talked about this anytime I'm asked, like, what kind of agenda I would love to see a candidate run on. And I think this should be pretty a thing that everybody agrees with. Free universal health care for all children 18 and under.
Universal child care.
So that's really your only thing? That's your main priority for...
You asked for 2. I gave you 1.
Yeah.
She gave you another one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He took my first one. My main criticism is always the Constitution, so...
Okay. I mean, the main reason I really asked is, wouldn't it... You can't see that other people who have different priorities...
Oh my God, that
was cool.
Look past your priorities to support Trump.
What?
So, if other people who are voting for Trump are voting for him based on things that they value more than you do, wouldn't it make sense that they would vote for Trump when they don't have the same...
So here's the problem. For example, we just perfectly displayed it with the last guest. One of the reasons he couldn't vote for Kamala because he thought she was such a horrible candidate based off of interviews and how she answered questions and blah, blah, blah. We then followed up with Trump being worse in that department. And then he said, I honestly find it funny. So, Jaden Hold. So, Trump supporters vote for Donald Trump for 2 things. Either A, policies that universally everyone can agree on, except Trump supporters take it too far, or they say they care about these things but ultimately don't, not in practice, in implication, or B, they vote for bigotry. Those are the 2 things. It's either I was misled or misinformed about what I thought he would do for immigration, the economy, healthcare, so on and so forth, or I just hate those people. I don't like those people. I like it when he shits on these people. Those are the only 2 things it is. And oftentimes, it is more so the first, and too often, it is the latter. So I don't give a fuck about a Trump supporter saying, hey, I voted for Donald Trump because he aligned more with who I am as a person or my faith, when they don't understand their faith, when the alignment with their character is degrading trans people. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Talking mad shit and undoing policies meant to uplift black people, women, otherwise. I don't care. I don't. You can vote on your values, and then your values are shit, and I can criticize that.
Okay, that's fair. But what about people in the first term who were voting for him for increasing middle class wages? And I think halfway through his term, it was true that the middle class had a greater increase in wages compared to Obama terms.
So you're talking about the end results of his administration?
What do you mean?
If you actually look at the BLS data, real wage growth did not outpace inflation during Trump's term.
The first term?
Yes, it did not outpace inflation during Trump's first term. Mind you, inflation was low in his first term. The only time that we actually saw that the average wage increased was April. Sorry, I said Apple. I meant to say after March 2020. And what was the significance in March 2020 that we saw an increase in the average wage?
Well, I thought I remembered, but prior to COVID, they were increasing over inflation. Is that not true?
At the same steady rate that they were also increasing during the Obama administration. It wasn't at a higher pace or at a quicker rate.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering.
That is correct. I mean, we can look at the average household wages and all these things went up, sure, but they, again, didn't outpace inflation despite him having much lower rates than several months. We can even go as far as a year or two under the Biden-Harris administration. So, don't know how much of a compliment that is. Then we can talk about some of the factors that led to, say, low gas prices under his term that directly impacted, at least to some degree, the higher gas prices under Trump's or Biden's term. We can look at the fact that he mishandled the pandemic so grossly to where we have to spend more because of his rhetoric surrounding it, such as saying that, it's going to be gone in 2 weeks. Sure, we can compliment him for Operation Warp Speed, but then that was after combating the vaccine so long and lockdowns. There's that. They're still championing Facebook suppressing freedom of speech by censoring content that was deemed misinformation, despite those fact checkers being there long before the pandemic. So it's I don't really know. Do you lean with Trump's, and do you have things?
No, I mostly disagree with him. But my point for the argument was that there are some things that I thought he did fine, but mostly he did horribly. I was just trying to get at those few things.
What do you think he did fine on?
Well, I just said at this point, I guess I was misremembering, but I thought he had a good result on middle class wages in his first term. And yeah, I agree that the gas prices went down because of COVID. People weren't driving, so there's less demand. But I mean, yeah, those are basically the only two things that I thought he was okay on. I despise his treatment of science funding. I don't agree with his foreign policy. Overall, I don't think he's a good president. I just said those two things.
So, do you think those two things in any way, shape, or form outweigh the negatives of Donald Trump?
No, I don't. I guess my argument was someone who overvalues those two things would, someone who doesn't care about foreign policy or like abortion rights or science funding and only cares about what they see, tax bracket wise, might just vote for him based on that one issue.
And what they think that they see is open to criticism. And we can look at objectively at some of those metrics and see that what Trump supporters or himself...
Violin. To accept.
Hold, please. Whatever Trump or his supporters make his numbers out to be in many, if not most metrics, follow up with bold-faced lies when you look at the data. So there's that. Any cases... You didn't vote for Trump, so you're not the demographic of people I actually care to talk to. Figure your shit out. I should have asked you more questions about why you didn't vote for Harris. I just don't. We're going to have to bring back the non-voter lives because it seems like you guys love to chit-chat about politics despite not actually participating in it, and it's very fucking strange to me. Also, guys, if you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. We are over the 2-hour mark, and we just hit 200,000 likes. There's 679 of you in here. I need to see you guys get up to 250,000 likes, and I think we can do so within the next 10 minutes. Tap the screen for a solid 15 to 30 to 60 seconds, and we can easily get there. Ari, did you have something?
I was gonna say, what you experience, your issue is with the non-voter prompt is they never call in. They only want to call in when it's about Trump.
Literally. We ran it before.
I don't mind. I know everyone likes to put in the comments when somebody says they didn't vote. No vote, no voice. That's not a good take to have during the midterm, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. The only reason I'm entertaining some of these is because it is a midterm election. It's just like, okay. But honestly, some of these non-voters are just as much cultists as MAGA. They're dedicated to sitting on the couch, and then Trump supporters are dedicated to Trump. It's just different things. But, all right, we have this person on the line, and unfortunately, they can't hear you. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Hello?
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And how old are you?
I am 24 years old.
Date of birth?
My date of birth is August 14th, 2001.
Do you regret your vote?
I do not regret my vote. Not at all.
Why is that?
What's that?
Can you pause the live in the background?
Sorry. I'm new here. I'm just a baby. Sorry about that.
What? Oh, did you hang up?
Yeah.
Totally fair.
I was already not trusting it. Then he said, I'm just a baby. Told me everything I need to know. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Two quick thank yous. W's in the chat to Sean for the $2 Cash App. He talked about eating cats and dogs during the debate. You would think that would be enough to have people go, what the fuck is going on here? But it wasn't. They just say it was funny. W's in the chat to you, Sean. W's in the chat to Mark for the $5 PayPal. If I knew there were free abortion buses, I wouldn't have kept it wrapped this much.
Damn. Also, thank you, Sean, for the 2 over on the Green app. Hector Talk sent me your way. Grateful to you too.
Marcus.
Oh, that's already not a real person.
Fetuses, bro. Absolute fetuses calling in.
Yeah, I had that problem yesterday. I got to be honest.
Same issue I had yesterday. We had a bunch of kids call in to the point to where I just turned off the YouTube lines. It was weird. I don't know why we're on child algorithm over there. Jesus.
I specifically set mine to not show to 18 and under, right? Like I don't have it like parental control locked, so if they, but I still set it to, well, that's broken. Sorry, I'm trying to, they're getting my thing ready for my live in a little bit, but
Hey,
yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to show up there.
To the Moon shows up every single day that I'm live, and he puts down in the chat. Hold on.
Call from. To accept.
And he puts down in the chat, Trump lives rent-free in your head. You're here every day. So check this out, To the Moon. I live rent-free in your head. You're here every single day. So is it HDS that you're suffering from? Is it Hector derangement syndrome? Better yet, we all know it's not derangement with MAGA men. We know what it is. We know what it is. It's the glow. It's the dud. It's the beard. I know. I understand. What's that? What's the one line by that one rapper? You guys know what I'm talking about? That one line with the rapper? If I was a bad bitch, I would have fucked me too. That's a crazy goddamn line.
Nope, not that way.
That is a crazy line. Oh.
That's hilarious.
Bruh, I remember that shit came out and I heard the clip of it. I was like, who the fuck is making this kind of music? Let's do this because I know this is a child.
Call from. John Dingle.
Date of birth, go.
January.
Hit that block. Hit that block. Hey guys, do you think if I get a kid on the line, I can get them to give the phone to their mother? You guys think I could get a kid to do that? I may try. I'm not gonna lie. I may try. There's an adult somewhere in the house. I want to see if the kid gives the phone to the adult. I'm just saying. One claimed he was trying to convince his parents. Really? Yeah, most of them will hang up. That is pushing the guidelines. That is pushing the guidelines. That one right there, I don't know. I don't know how the terms of service would treat me for that one. I don't think I would try it. I'm not even going to cap.
Call from.
Thomas.
Thomas, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't vote. I just wanted to talk to you because I really don't talk politics with nobody.
Why don't you talk to politics with anybody?
No, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not per one side, but I just feel like as like a regular person, like I just go to work every day. I'm blue collar, got a kid, just do my regular stuff. I feel like we've gotten to a point where we really don't have a say. So like, I'm not saying I'm pro Trump, pro Kamala, pro whoever, but I feel like we're so far gone that at this point it feels like it doesn't matter who we vote for. Like shit's gonna go sideways regardless.
How old's your child?
I got a 1.5-year-old. She'll be 2 soon.
So upon Kamala Harris winning the 2024 election, if she did, you would have been able to get a $6,000 is it tax credit or deduction, Ari?
It was a tax credit.
Thank you. A $6,000 tax credit because your child would have been under the age of 1 upon her winning. You would have gotten $6,000 worth of tax credits versus Donald Trump's $3,200 to $3,600. So
right, but
while you sit here and you say that you feel like it doesn't matter or it's all controlled or whatever the hell you said earlier, that would have been an additional roughly $3,000 more that you could have used to better your child's life.
No, yeah, 100%. Like I'm not for anybody specifically. I just feel like eventually, all right, Mama, let's go. I'm on the phone. I just feels like at a certain point, like the president just feels like the face of it, and they don't actually have a say. You know what I mean? Now you could 100% be right. Kamala could have got voted.
Kamala
could have got, but it just my fault. But it just feels like every time somebody comes in and there's just always a problem. Like I don't remember the last time. I mean, I'm still young, but I don't remember the last time like a president was in and everybody was like, yo, this is perfect. We love everything. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like there's always an issue.
Do you think there'll ever be a time where a president comes in and everyone thinks that he's perfect or they're perfect?
No, I don't. I think
So
I
what
think
was the
we've
point of that
gotten
statement?
too far as what was that?
So what was the point of that statement?
The point I guess I'm trying to say is just, to me, I feel like we're too far gone. Like I don't think voting somebody in at this point, I feel like the president doesn't have enough say. Mind you, I'm not political, so I would love to learn. So I'm not trying to like start nothing. But I feel like at this point it's like whoever we vote in, it doesn't matter. Like they don't have enough say to fix anything, change anything, like homelessness, poverty, war. Like there's just so much going on that I feel like whoever we vote for, like I just don't see them making a difference. Because we all know right or wrong. Like, I mean, there's some crazy people on both sides, but I feel like for the majority, most people can come together and be like, yo, this is right, this is wrong, yet we still have a bunch of shit going on that's wrong, you know?
Yeah, every single time you respond from a position of things are going wrong and we're not in a utopia, so I don't think they can change anything. You also kept saying, at this point, we're too far gone. So what point in time were we not?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I think there's too much, which is just going to be a basic answer, but just we hit a point where so much discrepancy and so much difference in opinion just started tearing everybody apart to where we all think so differently. And I'm not saying we should all think the same. I think everybody should have their own opinion, but the fact that we can't even, you know, get the basics of just what we should eat. Like, how is that a question? You know what I mean? Like, that's a weird thing that we're fighting about right now. Like, how can we not just all choose to eat the right things? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like, I don't know at what point, but just a difference in opinion have torn us so far apart that I feel like it's over.
Silver7 in the chat said, who's we? Yeah, that's a great fucking point, Silver. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the blanks here. When you said you feel like at this point it's too far gone, you'd clearly be referencing points where there may have been a chance or things were better off. If there may have been a chance or things were better off in the past, that means there was a time period where voting mattered. where we got to this point for a
Right.
reason. And I'm going to tell you exactly how we got to this point. We got to this point because not enough people understood the importance of voting. We got to this point because individuals that did show up to the polls voted on behalf of either just themselves or bigotry. We got to this point because we seemingly can't seem to get the picture that Republicans, or at least the Republicans of today, I won't shit on Republicans throughout history, at least not completely, lost the fucking plot. Where it no longer became about bettering the country by whatever way they wanted to, it became about sucking off one man. That's how we got here. Donald Trump ruined politics for decades to come. That's what happened. And the reason why we're advocating for people to vote now is not only in this midterm elections to reduce the powers of this administration, but also to have some semblance of hope and returning back to normal if we just continue to get the right people in. If Donald Trump has done anything good, I would argue it's making more people, even like yourself, regardless if you vote or not, pay attention to politics, to look at the impact that it's having. So even though you're sitting here saying it doesn't matter now, the more you consume this content, hopefully the more you'll realize that we could have avoided this fucking hole that we're in if people back in 2016 chose the woman who wanted to overturn Citizens United, who wanted to run on universal health care, who wanted to prosecute individuals and get Russia completely out of our politics. And then we would have had a much better country than the man who said immigrants are poisoning the blood of our nation and he likes grabbing women by the pussy.
You.
Yo, we 100% look past that. That's crazy, right?
How old are you?
24.
You said 24. Okay. Gotcha.
You could have voted in the
No,
last two
I mean,
elections.
again, like I just go to work, take care of my kid, and move on. And I know that's not the right mindset, and that's why I'm trying to, learn a
You
little
do
bit.
more
I've
than
been
that.
watching your lives.
You literally do more than that. You're listening into this live. Now you're on the phone with me. You're talking to me in this live. And I would take a wild guess as to say that this isn't the only political content that you consume.
No, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't have no social media. I got rid of all social media like 4 years ago. So the only thing I have is YouTube. That's what I found you on. But I really don't consume much political because I have this mindset. But just seeing how fucked up the world is right now slowly made me kind of crawl back into politics and listen a little bit.
Okay. YouTube would be considered a social media platform.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it is. But by social media, I mean I'm not like doom scrolling TikTok. I don't keep up with any of like my old friends or nothing. I really just watch sports highlights on YouTube. And I guess you now, right?
Okay. So you said that you tuned back into politics because of how fucked up the world's getting, right?
Yeah.
What actions are you referencing specifically?
The war.
Okay. So you just mentioned something that quite literally wouldn't be happening if Kamala Harris won the 2024 election.
Right. That's why I called in. Because it's man, not like I know what you're saying, and I have no choice but to believe you because you obviously know more than me. But I just feel like at some point or another, it's like shit's gonna happen. Like it's like we've been going to war for so long, and again, I'm choosing to believe you because you know more than me. So if you're saying Kamala wouldn't put us in this position, perfect. Like that would have been amazing. I don't want to be at war right now. Like it seems scary as hell, but I just feel like every president always promises no war because that's what we want, and then war happens. You know what I mean? Even who was it? Truman? Man, I might be messing up my history, but like whatever it was, Pearl Harbor, like he got voted in on not going to war, and then Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and he goes, "Oh shit, I guess we're going to war now." You know, like I feel like at a certain point, the president can't control everything. Now, you probably are right. I don't think she would have put us into this position where we're over here fighting in wars, and I got friends who died in like the Ukraine war and shit and things like that. But like I feel like at a certain point, the president's just a face, you know.
You know what the difference between the Russia-Ukraine and the Iran war currently is?
What's that?
Biden didn't start the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia, a dictatorship, invaded Ukraine And then we responded to the victims of that war, Ukraine, by giving them aid so they can fight back. Donald Trump went and struck Iran on February the 28th. And he did it under the guise of them having nukes, despite no U.S. intelligence being able to substantiate that point. That's the difference. So while I can agree with you and say, absolutely, Democrats and Republicans both benefit from war. Both of them have played around with it. Both of them have entertained it 6,000%. That's why I voted for Kamala, the woman who saw no incentive in specifically one with Iran or any other war across the nation.
Yep.
Right. And I agree with that. I don't think we should be at war.
Cool. So let's do this. I think I don't have to tell you how much politics matter because you've substantiated it with most of the things that you've said on this platform. You said you have a kid that's about to turn 2. Would you say that the actions of this administration, specifically regards to war, puts your kids at more risk than what they were in 2024 or even 2025?
I got a drop
mean,
Hector. Thanks
like
for having
war
me.
coming to this country and things like
thank you, Ray,
that?
for
Or are
coming
you
up.
saying risk financially or future? What do you mean?
I'm saying in general, we can talk about finances. We can talk about the fact that the Iran war literally threatens U.S. Americans dead because of the, whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm looking for? The sleeper cells that are here in the United States that were then activated because of those actions. We can talk about we can talk about the fact that Donald Trump's deregulation of several departments, such as the EPA, FDA, so on and so forth, could quite literally put our air, our water, our food at risk. There's several metrics we can look at and say that, hey, we are not safer and your kid isn't better off under this administration.
No, 100%. I'm extremely worried now than I was, I guess, I'd say about 3 years ago when I found out my fiance was pregnant. But I guess, and this is more of a question, but are the policies that Trump is putting in now, are these things not like reversible by the next person? Because I know you were saying he made, damages that are going to be hard to repair. But are we saying if we vote in, the better person next time, did Trump dig us too deep of a hole? Is that what you're saying?
The majority of Trump's actions are quote unquote reversible or can be halted because the majority of it has been executive action. The problem isn't that it can be reversed. The problem is the damage that it causes in the time that it was allowed to endure. The checks and balances have been literally pushed to the limit. We've had some wins with the Supreme Court. We've had some wins with the lower courts. But ultimately, that was long after the fact. There are people who were harmed under the last shutdown and we're still currently under a partial shutdown because Trump administration wants more money to ICE. People who are running around in masks, picking up and detaining American citizens and undocumented migrants alike, in some cases killing them, and then being justified on social media by Trump. That's not something we can really come back from. The intelligence communities that we, not intelligence communities, the intelligence that we got from several nations, specifically the EU, in regards to foreign affairs, that's lost. Maybe we get it back with some more diplomacy, but then it's going to be a longer road to that point. The trust that we lost, the soft powers with USAID, that's not something that some of the things that Donald Trump has disrupted or challenged wasn't gained easily by the United States. And to talk about the years and the hard work it's going to take to repair some of this damage is that's more so the concern and the issue. It's not that we can't undo what Trump has done. It's the fact that it's going to take one hell of a time and one hell of a battle and hell of taxpayer dollars to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have avoided a lot of this, or better yet, in this election, because there's no point talking about the past, we can reduce the powers of this administration. This is what I always say. We can reduce the powers of this administration by voting in the right people in Congress or otherwise that can halt his actions, that can leave us something left to pick up the pieces with come 2028 or even 2027 in Congress. The big, beautiful bill, the money that was allocated to ICE, the cuts from Medicaid, SNAP, so on and so forth, Those requirements, those could have been halted
Mhm.
in the legislative branch if we had the numbers in Congress.
I see.
Hell, the Epstein files. While Democrats have definitely played around
Yeah,
with that shit, let's keep it a buck. They absolutely have. Recent subpoenas, not so much legislative action, executive action. True investigations could have taken place if people, or if the sitting president of the United States wasn't implicated in the files so much. Kamala Harris was not implicated in the Epstein files. Kamala Harris would have done infinitely more for their release versus Donald Trump.
Right. And then I guess one of my last, I think, statements was this one. You can just ignore if you want, but I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist because, again, I just go to work, do my job, provide for my family, and stay low. But another one is like with this whole Epstein shit that's going on, so many powerful people tied into this just weird shit going on. That's another thing that makes me think like, not the government is like, damn, I hate to sound crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, not the government state, but like, there's so much going on behind closed doors that like, and we're just like on the surface, arguing about this, arguing about that, clashing, when really like we have no say. It's all behind closed doors with this Epstein and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that's a possibility?
It's not a possibility. It's a fact. Obviously, powerful figures, not only in the government, but being influenced by outside factors, are protecting creeps. They're protecting criminals, fraudsters, so on and so forth. That's just not a point that's contested by either side. What I can tell you is that Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, a Republican and a Democrat, put their heads together and decided to get us the Epstein Transparency Act, which the Trump administration is 116 days overdue of releasing. But those are examples of two sides coming together, two people coming together and demanding more transparency and accountability in this corrupt system. So how our political process works for us is ultimately dependent on people that you and I have the decision to vote in. So when they run their campaigns and they say, I want money out of politics, I want your healthcare to be better, I want this and that. Yes, many of them lie, but we can look at their track record, some of them with experience, or we can look at the ones who have nothing to gain from this system, or at least for the most part, don't want to gain anything from this system. We vote them in, we hold them accountable, we make the change. And even if in the next 50 years things don't move the needle to where we want, at least we're not going backwards. That is always going to be my argument against the Trump administration. Oh, you don't think voting Democrats would have made our life better? Sure. At least we wouldn't be going backwards. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather stay still than be dragged behind.
No, okay. I'm glad you said that, because one of the things going through my head while you were saying that was like, but we ain't seeing no change no time soon. You know what I mean? Like that's one of my
immediate
things
impactful. Not really. No.
And like that's another fear that I have is I wanna believe what you're saying when you say, we can come together and vote in the right people, but like then you hear about like Blackstone and the Koch brothers, and like these giant corporations that own so much stuff, and you're like, are we just pawns? Like, can we even change anything? Like, I know what you're saying, don't move backwards, so I get that, but like, even if we all just decided to actually move forward with this, is it even possible? Do they rig the election? Like, that's my fear too, is we can all come together and realize, okay, boom, this person is doing, at least what's best for the majority of us. We can all agree to that. But if whoever, big government, whoever, these conspiracy, I don't know, I don't want to sound too crazy, but you know what I mean? Like, if they decide that's not who's best, then like, what did we do this for? You know what I mean?
Linka made a good point in the comments. We literally have to start somewhere. In fact, are you a nigga? You sound like a nigga.
Nah, I'm white, but I grew up around a bunch of black.
You're white?
Yes, sir.
Damn, I was
I'm from
hella
Florida.
off. I was
means
off
anything.
as fuck. Okay, never mind.
Nah, I'm from Florida, so this is just every white dude in Florida, unfortunately.
Fascinating. So, decades ago, people said that women will never have the right to vote, that we would never had a black president, that we can never get the government to pay a portion of healthcare costs so they can bring it down for the average American, so on and so forth. Decades ago, we would have said that never will we have had the tax cuts that we've had. Never will we have had the allyships that we've had. Never would be able to be this alleged shining beam on the hill to help countries like Africa, so on and so forth. And then here we are. It's because people got up and decided to utilize the powers that they had, which is through their vote, through their voice, to make change. And none of us did it. Sometimes we got better results than others, but ultimately that process is still one that I refuse to ignore. I think, and this is why I asked you about the race thing, because it's also monumentally different amongst races and how we view our political process. Because I can say as a black person, my ancestors could not afford to say none of this shit matters, because for them it would have been literal life or death. So not only do I vote to honor them, but I vote because for future generations, for the kids that I may have in the future or the people in my life I care about, I want them to not endure the same shit that I did. I do not want anybody that I know or any kid that's coming up right now to ever have to start a TikTok platform or YouTube platform to talk about the fucking nut job in the Oval Office. I'm hoping by that time, we never have to discuss someone as crazy as Donald Trump. I missed the conversations about Bush, and Bush was fucking nuts. So it's always forward always. It's a Luke Cage quote, but it rings so strongly when I think about these things. I won't go backwards. And Kamala Harris's entire platform is we're not going back. So that's what I do.
Right.
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this call here. I think that I appreciate your civility. Cool. The most I can tell you is everything matters. Everything matters when it comes to our political process. When it comes to your vote, now it matters more than ever. And I'll leave you with this: if voting didn't matter, neither side would be spending literal billions of dollars to get you to vote one way or another. Whether it's for their benefit or yours, clearly has an impact on our process, and it doesn't make any more sense to ignore it from this point.
No, that's understandable.
All right. Appreciate you calling in. You enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Appreciate it.
Call from
Jason Nelson.
Jason, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you regret your vote?
But what? Sorry.
Do you regret your vote?
No.
And why is that? Did you hear me?
Sorry, no. I was like really bad hearing, sorry.
Why is that? Why don't you regret your vote?
I also forgot the question, I'm sorry.
The question was, do you regret your vote? You said no. I then followed up with, why is that?
Oh, that's because Trump, I just feel like he's just better for the country.
Okay. What matters more, your feelings or factual information?
Factual information.
Can you try to give me a metric factually that supports the claim that Donald Trump is better for the country?
Because Kamala Harris, she wanted to do like sex changes for people, and that's not like what I'm about. And yeah, Trump doesn't do that.
Do you need a sex change?
No, I don't.
Okay. First and foremost, there's no such thing as a sex change. Sex changes aren't real because you can't change your sex. You can only change your gender. Secondly,
it's like,
how does sex changes impact your wallet? Better yet, no, fuck your wallet. How do sex changes negatively impact your life?
Because I don't really want to like raise a family and have like people in the streets telling them that they should like change what they are.
Cool. people in the streets can tell your kids literally anything. Is that a reason for you not to have kids?
No. Like, I don't want like a transgender person walking up to my kid and telling
I'm not
them
gonna
to do
sit
that.
here and go down the route of telling you that you're a bigot and validating trans people's existence or any of that, because something tells me you wouldn't give a fuck. What I am going to tell you is that trans people don't affect any aspect of your life whatsoever. And if your concern is that a trans person at some point in time tells them that it's okay to be trans and that kid decides to be trans, then maybe, just maybe, A, their kid is trans, or B, you are so weak-willed in your parenting that anything could sway them. In which case, that's a you problem. That's not a trans problem.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean for this to get heated. I was just.
I'm not heated.
It sounded pretty heated.
No, I just talk passionately. You'll hear when I get heated, trust me. It just doesn't make any sense to me when you guys shit on trans people so much. They ain't done nothing
Because
to
they
you.
suck.
Never had any negative experience with them. Better yet, let me ask you that question. Have you ever had a negative experience with a trans person?
Yes, I have.
Cool. Tell me about it.
So there was this one time I was trying to walk to my local gas station, and there was a trans person screaming at the cash register.
Why were they screaming at the cash register?
Because the person looked like a dude, and they didn't like that. They also had a MAGA shirt on, and they also didn't like that either.
I don't think trans people care what you look like, but it sounds like the underlying issue is the individual at the cash register was wearing Trump merchandise, clearly showing their support for a man who is trying to do everything in his power to invalidate a trans person's existence, to cut their funding, literally kick them out the military, devaluing them. So I would argue if I ran across someone who voted alongside someone who doesn't want me to be here, I would be justified in my anger towards them. But I don't see how that yelling impacted your life other than maybe having a slight hold up in line. Meanwhile, they're literally dying.
They're dying.
Yeah.
How are they dying?
How are they dying? Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, simple. Their health care is being denied. Donald Trump is prosecuting hospitals that is giving them the appropriate gender-affirming care that they need. We can also talk about the schmiercide rate, which often, was increased off the bat.
What about like everybody
else's
else's mental health?
What about everyone else's mental health? I'm sorry, I didn't vote alongside the party that votes against mental health funding. You did.
So, did you vote for Trump? Like, yes or no?
Take a wild guess.
I'm guessing you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't?
No.
That explains everything.
Check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform, whether it's following me on all the social media platforms, such as YouTube that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram, where we also post the videos we put up here, joining the Discord community, to which we're over 700 members strong, getting yourself some merchandise off the merch shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's, and you can use the discount code WeAllWin for 10% off your entire order, or 25% off everything you order over 100. And then finally, for the emotional fucking labor I'm putting into these people, you may hit up the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Those of you on the Tube side, please make sure you hit the like button on the stream, subscribe on your way in or on your way out. I appreciate every last one of you for being there. Shout out to some of the mods. Double tap the screen on this side of the aisle. We are 8 minutes away from being live for 3 hours, in which case I'll probably be wrapping it up soon. Let's get the likes up to 300K at least before we end. Send your daily heartbeats if you haven't already. Repost, add to your story. Let's knock out the little journey goals here. We need about 88 more of those to go to clear that goal. So if you'd like to support the stream, you may do it that way. And obviously, hit that follow button.
Yeah, hello?
Keen, did you vote for Trump?
Yep.
And do you regret your vote?
Hell no.
Why is that?
Because he plays chess, 4D chess. He's 10 steps ahead, and I can prove it to you. He plays 10 steps ahead, right? So my theory is that by 2070, oil will run out, right? You could search it, and it's gonna show facts and sources. Oil will run out, so that's why Trump is taking the oil from Venezuela and Iran. So he wants to secure America's future. So that's why he's 10
Did you
steps
say
ahead.
sources prove that oil is a finite resource?
No. I said you can find sources, and
Do you
if
know
you
what
Google
finite
it,
means?
it's ending, right?
Okay. So I literally
It's
just
not
said what you said differently. Sources
right.
show that oil is a finite resource, hence why,
Yes.
according to you, Trump invaded Venezuela and is trying to get oil from other places as well, correct?
Yep.
Okay. You know why I don't disagree with that?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because it's fucking science. Literally the basis of those of us on the left and the Democrats' positions on reducing greenhouse gas emissions, on investing more in renewable energy, such as wind power, which now covers 30% of Texas. Texas understands that assignment at least, and then Donald Trump says it's killing whales and birds. Even touching and dabbling into nuclear energy. So I find it interesting you bring that up when it really doesn't make Donald Trump look better in his actions to Venezuela. Better yet, if he invaded Venezuela for oil, and according to his post on Truth Social, which is exactly that, just the post on Truth Social, we were supposed to be getting 30 to 50 million barrels of oil from them. Yet, despite this deal, Trump's invasion of Iran jacked up our gas prices hours afterwards. So it doesn't sound like he's doing a great job in that department.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's a scary future for everybody. And Isaac Newton as well said that the world will be ending in 2060. Isaac Newton, the mathematician. Yep.
What?
Isaac Newton, the mathematician, also said the world is ending by 2060. You heard of Isaac Newton?
I know who it is. What the fuck do I care
Yeah.
about his predictions?
Well, it's a scary future.
Wow. Okay. How is that an argument for Trump? I didn't kick him.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Trump supporters, request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets your vote, you may call on the platform. I can give you aid and resources to help you transition into the right side of history. We will give you minimal judgment on the way. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret their vote, request up in the box. I can give you several reasons as to why you should. According to this guy, Donald Trump is invading other countries for finite resources versus looking at renewable energy that we can do right here on American soil, bringing American jobs, putting America first. And the world's going to end by 2060, according to Isaac Newton. So I'm going to vote for the guy who's going to fast track that fucking process by weaponizing or radicalizing Iran even more so than they were under previous, specifically Democratic administrations. And they're just enriching oil to get nukes. That math tracks. That math tracks. I've never seen better math. It's the best numbers. I've never seen any other numbers like those numbers. I hate it here, bro. I hate it here every single day. Every single day, I hate it here. Like what? Mind you, this dude was in the request for some time, and he was in the request earlier in the live. Like an hour and a half ago, he was in the request. Imagine waiting all that time, watching all that time to come up here and say some stupid shit like that. You guys have no shame whatsoever. Absolutely none. We only got 79 new followers from this live. Hey, bro, I know like 21 of you aren't following me. Hit that follow button. Hit it right there. Hit that follow button right there. Is there something? There's something I did want to go over with you guys. Let me see if I can find it. While we're waiting, we are coming up on the 3-hour mark. So 300,000 likes. Tap the screen. Let's get up to 300,000 likes. And appreciate it. If by then we don't have any Trump supporters, that's my cue. That is my cue. Restricted access. Oh. Erica would want to know about this. Let me send this over to Erica. Maricopa County, this is in Arizona, election staff told to grant FBI unrestricted access. The emails depict Arizona election officials preparing for possible federal intervention, while at least one top local official offered support for the probe. The Trump administration is getting into your local elections under the guise of election integrity. This is one of my favorite things to remind Trump supporters of. While Trump is running off of election integrity and fixing, verbatim, his words, fixing the elections, it'll be fixed, it'll be fine. He's the only person, the only president, in the history of this country, for the most part, to challenge election integrity to the degree that he has. Yes, that's correct. The guy who said, I want to secure our elections from fraud, is the only person to have jeopardized said election with fraudulent claims, the whatchamacallit scheme, the fake ballot scheme, all that shit. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Fixed or fixed? Sorry, is that not the same thing? What did I miss? Hey, Jay, are you a Trump supporter? If you are a Trump supporter, I'm about to mute you because you've been chirping for some time. Oh, what up, Notorious? What up, BTG? The guy said if Biden won, we'd never hear from him again. From Biden? The quotation marks in the second fixed. Am I just having like a blonde moment? I don't know. Yo, let me call. The number's on the screen on YouTube. 737-295-5321. Better yet, you complaining on TikTok when the request button is right fucking there is crazy to me. Oh, Trump said that? We'll never hear from Biden. Oh, wait. Did he say that in 2024? That if Biden won the 2024 election, we'd never hear from Trump again? What a blessing. What an amazing day it would have been. Oh, I get it, Kate. I get it. I was having a delayed moment. I get it. 2020 election? Oh, that's funny. Hold on, let me look that up. That's funny. Did Trump say you'll never hear from him again if Biden won the 2020 election? Some form. September 20th, 2020. Trump tells supporters, quote, you'll never see me again if he loses to Biden. At a campaign rally in North Carolina Saturday, President Donald Trump told attendees they'll never see or hear from him again if he loses the election to Joe Biden. If I lose to him, I don't know what I'm going to do. I will never speak to you again. Trump told supporters at a rally. Oh my goodness, man. Trump made similar remarks in 2016 when he rivaled Hillary Clinton for the presidency. Quote, I don't think I'm going to lose, but if I do, I don't think you're ever going to see me again, folks. I think I'll go to the Turnberry and play golf or something. It's almost as if there's nothing new under Trump. It's almost as if we can look at his past to determine his future. It's almost as if he's has a well-documented pattern that we can utilize to say that he is the worst president ever in the country and the worst administration. He heads the worst administration ever. Crazy. It's crazy. One of the things that I will never be able to wrap my mind around when it comes to Trump supporters is the fact that the stuff that we say, the stuff that we cite, it's not in the know information. It's not something that you have to dig deep to find. It's not stuff that's only for a handful of people. It is first line on Google information. The AI overview even can accurately tell you some of this shit, although you need to substantiate it. Please stop listening to AI as a source. Stop fucking doing that. But it's and to those of us watching from way over here, and then we're not listening, y'all aren't listening, Trump supporters, to the people that have worked with him, to the people that have been in relationships with him, business deals with him, to the people who have seen him up close. None of that shit matters. The sheer amount of people that said this man was fucking nuts, that he is out of his mind, that he doesn't care about the country, that he doesn't actually think out his policies, that his appointees and picks are people who just support him and don't care about the country. None of that shit matters. It's literally Trump supporters telling us, and then they like to say we do this, to not believe what we see with our own eyes. That's all these things are. I want to be clear. This platform, alongside other creators like myself, MSN Now, fuck CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all these other things, it's literally just talking to Trump supporters. Tell us not to believe what we see with our own eyes, what we can verify with empirical data. Don't believe it because Trump said it. I think I'm going to clip the guy from earlier. Who brought up the Trump post, the Jesus post. When we put it up on the screen and showed him, and I said, can you show me where on this picture there's a doctor, where he looks like a doctor? Do you guys remember that?
What did he say?
I'm going to clip him, bro. Reckons, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I do.
Why is that?
It was just the wrong choice. I'll be honest, I'm not a Trump follower, but I do meet your criteria, and I just want to say hi. I did vote for him in 2016. I guess that was back before I realized I guess that's back before I really learned about privilege and that the society we live in isn't a joke. And so I do regret even my 2016 vote for him.
Okay. But you didn't vote for him in 2024.
No, absolutely the fuck not. I just want to say you have an immaculate energy. I just found you and you vibe, man. And I appreciate that. A lot of people are debating online, and I feel like you're doing it in a good way. It's like you're just trying to educate people.
I try. Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
Kamala Harris.
Right on.
Right on.
I do my best over here. I appreciate you coming up, man.
Thanks.
I'm not going to say it. I appreciate the support. But I'm not going to say it. Fuck it, I'm going to say it. Going all the way back to 2016 to regret your vote. I mean, I get it, I guess. But, bro, what? You're fine. You voted for Harris, bro. You understood the assignment in the time that it mattered the most. You're fine. I promise you. But no. Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of Trump supporters. Literally, this guy chirping in the comments. Here's one. Jerry Garcia. President Trump is a healer as a president. Trump is a great president. Congratulations, Jerry. You are my screenshot of the night. You are my screenshot of the night. Let me get this up. Let me put this up for everybody to see. I would love to know. Actually, let's do this. We haven't done an invisible prompt today. So the main prompt, Trump supporters regret your vote. This live is a safe space for individuals who do regret their vote, preferably in the 2024 election, and want to talk about it in a place with minimal judgment. And then for Trump supporters who do not regret their vote, so I can give the reasons as to why they should. The invisible prompt is going to be, if you are under the belief, like Jerry Garcia, 523 here, that Donald Trump healed the country, tell me how. Let me put it up on the YouTube side. If you are under the belief that Donald Trump healed anything in this country, healed any relationship abroad, tell me how. That is the invisible prompt. Request up in the box or call on the number on screen, 737-295, 5321. I gotta do something about this fucking mic, bro. I literally bought this shit today. So I guess it's just a Mac issue, like a software issue as to why the volume keeps doing this thing, because I'm not touching anything. It's not the cord. This is entirely new setup. I wonder if it's the port, maybe. Let me try something. I wonder if it's the port. Actually, I don't want to unplug it. It may fuck up the live. I'll do it. I'll do it when I get off. I'll do it when I get off. Hold on. I'm putting this screenshot up for YouTube. There we go. There you go, YouTube. Let's see if Jerry can answer the question. Or how much you want to bet we won't see another single comment from Jerry going forward. That's the end of Jerry. I promise you that. Almost at 300,000 likes. I don't know why. The algo is weird today. We literally got up to 1,100 people, but the engagement has been super duper strange. Guys, let's get the likes up to 300K. With the sheer amount of people in here, we can easily get there within the next 10 minutes, maximum. 10 minutes maximum, we can get the likes up to 300K. So whip your phones out like this, okay? And tap like this. Yes. The engagement has been basura. Tap like this. If you do this for a solid 15 to 30 to 60 seconds, 300K will be there almost immediately. W's in the chat to Jerry for the $2 super chat. Trump is unhealing our troops. How is that healing? Here's another thing. I don't know how hateful that you have to be to want to ban a group of people from the military just because of their gender identity. This is why you guys can't talk shit to me about hate and bigotry and vitriol. How hateful do you have to be to support a man who banned people from the military, not based off of them not meeting the qualifications, them not passing the tests, not their experience, solely based off of their identity? Imagine you work a job. You're killing it at your job. Your boss walks up to you one day and says, hey man, get up out of here. You're done. Why? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something crazy? Nah, I just don't like you. You can go. Bye. You throw a fit. You'd spend the rest of your life shitting about that, especially if it was a good job that was taking care of you, especially if you put you in a predicament to where you can't take care of your family or yourself, right? But then we don't care when it happens to other people just because they're trans. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. What did he say? It was a lot. The guy who we showed the picture, he said that, he said Trump clarified it, in which case we played the video clip of Trump saying he thought he was a doctor. I then asked him to show me where the doctor was on the photo. Not only did he not identify the nurse, I had to bring that up to him, the nurse in the bottom right corner. But he said that it was doctor garments, it was doctor robes abroad. He said that's how doctors from other countries look like. And it was like, okay, so the America First president had AI depict him as a foreign doctor. Then he said, let me put the picture back up. Fuck it. I'll put the picture back up. Some of you guys weren't here for it, bro. Look at that. Look how quickly we just got to 300,000 likes. And you know what happens? Every single time I bully y'all to tap the screen, and then you show me in 0.2 seconds why I should have bullied you harder before, it doesn't help you. You know that, right? It doesn't help you at all. Did you think I'm going to thank you for getting the likes up to 300K now that you've showed me that you can do it in 3 minutes? Do you think I was going to thank you guys? No, fuck you guys. Because why the fuck did we get there a couple minutes ago? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, here we go. So here's a photo. Okay. So the light beam that you see him holding in his left hand, this Trump supporter said with his full chest that light beam isn't him trying to depict himself as having any sorts of heavenly powers and healing. It could have just been the sun peeking through him, through the corner, wherever the fuck the corner is, and it being reflected in his hands. So then I said, what about the other light beam in his right hand that is on this individual's forehead, almost to reflect something heavenly or healing? You want to know what his answer to that was, chat? It was fuck all. It was fuck all. Hey, Grant Rosendahl 2496. I don't know what your discombobulated questions are about. I do know there's a call-in number. And now you have no choice but to call it in and articulate your position versus crying in the comments. Congratulations, you played yourself. You guys really don't want my attention on the YouTube chat. Then I'll just mute the fuck out of you. You really don't want my attention on the YouTube chat. I will just start muting the fuck out of people. My mods play nice with y'all, per some of my rules. I don't. Anyway, point I was trying to make is that we saw in real time TDS. In real time, we saw TDS with the way this Trump supporter tried to dance around this photo. Then he said he looks past all the things that we hyper-focus on. And he said he's a Catholic. So I say, as someone who doesn't practice any of these things, but I understand the Bible and its principles surrounding blasphemy and comparing yourself to Jesus or God, how do you, as a Catholic, look over blasphemy? Then he said that clearly Trump was trying to divert or distract people from something. I said, what is he trying to divert or distract people from? Why would the most transparent administration in history try to be diverting or distracting your attention from something? He had no answers. Friendly reminder that these people vote. And that is exactly why I get so frustrated with non-voters. Mind you, I was a non-voter for the majority of my life. 2024 election was the first election that I actually voted in. And I regret not doing it sooner.
God bless you.
Thank you, Sean, for the gifts. I appreciate you. I'd stop entering shit like that. I don't know what that means. Entering what? A 3-question test prior to voting would solve so many problems. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have a pretty cold take on that. Because obviously the issue with, I guess, some type of voters test, civics test would be that it would disenfranchise millions of voters. Entertaining, got it. It would absolutely disenfranchise millions of voters, legal voters, people who've been voting for some time, so on and so forth. I don't give a fuck. Would it limit the pool of people who can vote? Yes. Would that be inherently a good thing? I don't know. But what I do know, at least, is that people who understand basic functions of government would be the only people participating in our elections. God bless you. I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm just literally saying I don't give a fuck.
Call from
Grant.
Grant, hold on 1 second. And before we get back to this guest, thank you, Jordan, for the DJ glasses. I appreciate you. I'll also say this. I have a feeling, and I can't necessarily substantiate this, at least not concretely. I have a feeling that if we had this test for Americans, and if they didn't pass it, they couldn't vote. I don't think it's our side we'd have to worry about. I'm just saying, call me crazy, call me biased, call me a Democrat shill. If we had a civics test where people had to answer this amount of questions to be able to vote, I don't think it's our side that would have to worry about it. Just a thought. Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did. Proudly.
Proudly. And do you regret your vote?
Nope, not at all. I'm calling in right now to because you guys all muted me. You didn't think I would call in, so calling in to talk to a random citizen.
Are you Jerry Garcia 523?
No, I'm Grant, dude. That's my name. That's what your whole system. You took my name and all. You know my name. But anyway, so I'm talking to a random citizen in there, right? Somebody who's very misinformed in equity, like yourself. You talk about voting for Kamala, smart choice, right? But she's an equity hire, right? So I'm sitting here asking questions in there. You act like they're random, but
you said random.
Yeah. You
Tell
wanna,
me why
you wanna
skin
act
color
like they're
should
random,
keep
right?
someone
so I
down.
asked you guys. I said, why?
Yeah, let me rotate my screen.
Why would you vote for somebody that enslaved black prisoners?
I'm
if you're going to
sorry.
raise a commie fist in the air and be like, Black Lives Matter, but also we want to destabilize the black nuclear family structure, why do you vote for somebody? That's the mission statement of BLM, is it not? That's their mission statement. It's funny to you. Guess what? The nuclear family matters.
I'm
and
sorry.
Communists like
Can
you
we go
that are-
can we go one thing at a time? Can we go one thing at a time?
No, like I said, I'm here to talk to random citizen mostly in your chat because you guys
Got
muted
you,
me,
got you.
like
Cool.
And he has a
So
very
what slaves
misunderstanding
did Kamala
equity.
Harris own?
Kamala Harris's family down the line owned slaves. But what
Kamala
she
Harris's
did when
family down the line owned slaves. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and that's a fact. But that's not what I said.
Okay,
No.
got you.
That's
So
another fact.
let me ask you
That's
this
another
question. Let me
fact.
ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
No.
Let me ask you this question.
No.
So
You're
is it
not going down a
possible
rabbit
for
hole.
me?
You're not going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
What
I'm going down
said,
a logical hole.
What
I know that's hard for
said
you.
is that Kamala Harris used the 14th Amendment to
Yeah.
enslave black prisoners
Kamala
during
Harris
wildfire
did not
season
utilize any
in
amendment to
California
enslave anyone
for
because
free
that's
labor
not
to
in
the
Kamala
state.
Harris's power.
And
Can you tell me how
anybody in
black
your
people can
chat
control
right
their
now
ancestry?
Can Google that.
Can you tell me
Anybody
how
in your
black
chat
people
right
can
now
control their
Google that.
ancestry?
What?
Can you tell me
Are
how
you
black
serious?
people can control their
I can
ancestry?
tell you how black people can control their ancestry.
Tell me how
because
black
guess
people
what?
can control their
Not all,
ancestry.
a very, very small portion of black people are victims. Do you know that?
Yeah, I don't know what that had to do with my question, so let me go ahead and ask it again. Can you tell me how black people can control their ancestry? How can I stop one of my mamas or my daddies, my grandmamas or granddaddies 50, 100, 200 years ago from fucking with a white person, or better yet, being fucking raped by a white person and then having me way down the line? Can you tell me how I can stop that?
A race of people. Now we're all rapists now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I never called you a racist. I mean, you are, but I just need you to answer a question. Can you tell me how I can control my ancestors from not only being in relations with people, but getting fucked by them against their will? Can you tell me how I can stop that from happening?
You are upset.
Do you have a time machine that I don't have? Is there a time machine that white people have been able to utilize throughout history to control their ancestry?
I did.
If you know what it is, I really want you to give me the information. If you want me to stop being a big cryberry, bald, beautiful, bearded victim, then I want you to tell me where this time machine is that I can go back in time and stop my people from getting fucked. To where I can go back in time and stop my name from being Hector, which isn't a Caribbean or African name. Hey, hold on for a second. Shut the fuck up. Now I'm talking to my chat. I want to know where the fuck I can get a time machine so I can stop that's what I thought you would fucking do, so I can stop my ancestors from having their name stolen from them, from having their heritage stolen from them, to where my black ass is walking around with a Mexican ass name. It's not even a Mexican name. It's technically, I believe Hector is originally Greek, and then it was picked up by Latino culture, to be fair. Just tell me where the time machine is, where I can stop that from happening, right? And I can have a name like Dashuku or whatever the fuck, right? Tell me how I can do that. Tell me how I can do that. We can have a conversation. Tell me how I can do that. Because you guys use this disgusting, pathetic talk. I want you guys to, not this fucker calling back.
Call from
Grant.
Hey, Grant, can you tell me where your time machine is that you use to control your ancestry?
Oh, shit. Am I back on?
Can you tell me where your time machine is to where you used it to control your ancestry?
Yeah, actually, it's recorded history, and it's recorded to the point where
can you tell me what book I can read to find this time machine?
A certain number of slaves, and
can you tell me where this book is that will tell me the location of this time machine?
Abraham Johnson.
Abraham Johnson had a time machine? What? Hold on, let me check this out. Let me check this out.
You're going to let me talk? You're going to try and sit there and warm the conversation?
Abraham Johnson.
That's about all you got. That's about all you got since you don't got the facts. I'm over here talking facts, and you're trying to overtalk me, aren't you? If you don't got the facts.
Let's see.
You don't got the facts.
Yeah, I don't see anything about Abraham Johnson. I see a YouTube video by Daniel B.
One of the
2 years ago. Welcome to Mr. Johnson's Time Machine. I don't see anything about Abraham Johnson owning a time machine that I can use to change my ancestry. So as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by your absolute fucking fuckery. Black people don't control their ancestry. Quite literally, nobody does. You using that as an insult towards Kamala Harris, as if Kamala Harris's family chose to be taken by the white slave owner. Shut the fuck up. Chose to be taken by the white slave owner that brutalized their family and then mixed us all with your degenerate genes. You can't sit here and fucking tell me that she is a slave owner because a slave owner decided to fuck her people and then bring her here later on down the line. It's not how that works.
You know how many people voted to primary Kamala Harris?
75 million people voted for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. You stupid fucker.
Wrong. Nobody voted to primary.
Hey, can you tell me which slaves Kamala Harris owned? Yeah, I'm not done. Idiot. I'm not done with the last conversation. Can you tell me which slaves Kamala Harris owned?
You cry democracy all fucking day long.
Can you tell me which slaves Kamala Harris owned?
Guess what the presidential election is?
Can you tell me which slaves that Kamala Harris owned?
Election is? That celebrates the
Can you tell me which slaves Kamala Harris owned?
Yeah, you want me to tell you who they own?
Yeah.
Okay, Google this. I want everybody in your chat to look this up right now because this is fact, and I want you to look it up. Put it on your screen, dude. Put it on your screen. I bet you won't. I'm not looking you up while I'm calling you, but I bet you won't. Put it up on your screen.
Bunch of fucking rambling.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris used the 14th Amendment when she was DA in California to use prison people's labor as free labor to the state, aka slavery. She extended.
What is the 14th Amendment?
She extended. Well, in the 14th Amendment, you can legally do that. But
what is the 14th Amendment?
The 14th Amendment, you can legally enslave people if they're imprisoned under the 14th Amendment. But what's beautiful
what section is that in the 14th Amendment?
If you cared about America.
What section is that in the 14th Amendment?
No, like, dude, don't duck it. Don't duck it. I just now asked
what
you.
What section is that in the 14th Amendment?
I just asked you to Google this in front of all of your chat.
Yeah. But if we're to say that Kamala Harris used the 14th Amendment to do this thing that you're saying, then I need to understand what the 14th Amendment is. You're not listening to me, bro. You're not listening to me. I'm trying to help you out. I'm a stupid liberal.
You're trying to help me
I don't
out.
know anything about anything. You are educating me right now. So I'm asking you to continue to educate me on how Kamala Harris utilized the 14th Amendment to enslave black people or whoever, right? What is the 14th Amendment?
Dude, you're going to sit on here on YouTube, right?
Would you like me to look it up and read it to the chat?
It addresses citizenship rights.
Would you like me to look it up and read it to the chat?
Are you going to let me talk?
My guy, I'm trying to help you out. Would you like me to look it up and read it to the chat?
Yeah, you going to let me talk?
Sure.
So the 14th Amendment,
I just need your confirmation. Would you like me to look it up and read it to the chat?
Oh yeah, if you want to look it up, go ahead, look it up yourself.
Thank you. No problem. I got you. Here we go.
Right, but I want you to type this in.
Let's look up.
now Kamala Harris
14th
using the 14th Amendment to leverage imprison people's
Yeah.
labor.
So I
during
can't get to the part to where she used an amendment in a certain fashion until I read what the amendment is. Okay. So I'm going to read what the amendment is, and then we can move on to the next part of your claim. Okay.
That's
Cool.
fine, but
So
man,
I'm looking at.
point out your
I'm looking at.
you know,
Let me
point
put it up
all
on the
out.
screen for everybody. I'm literally supporting your point here by reading this amendment. I don't know why you wouldn't let me just
Dude,
read it.
you're the guy that
I
laughed
don't
like
know
a
why you're
clown
doing
when
this.
I pointed out BLM's mission statement.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with the 14th Amendment, but that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up here.
God bless you.
And I'm gonna read the 14th Amendment to everyone here, and we're gonna find out how Kamala Harris used it to enslave people. Okay.
Is that what I asked you to do?
Section 1.
Is that what I
And
asked
this
you to
is
do? Or did I ask you to look up what
constitution.congress.gov
Kamala Harris did with the 14th
/constitution /amendment -14 / all the slashes in the URL I just gave you are forward slashes. Okay. Here
Go
we
ahead
go.
and read this real quick.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Is that what she violated?
Without due process.
Is that
of
what
law.
she
So once people have had their due process.
Is that hold on? Is this the section she violated, or do I need to read the next section?
The state and they
Hey! Is this the section she violated, or do I need to move to the next
What you were asked to
section?
do was very simple.
Yeah,
You were
I know,
asked to
and we're going
Google,
over the 14th
and you
Amendment,
were
the one
asked
you
to
said I
look
could read.
up right
So I'm going to
now.
ask you
You
again.
were asked to look up
Is
right now
section
Kamala
1
Harris and what she
the
did with
first?
that,
Is section
but
1
you
the
refused
section that
to do
she
that.
messed up?
You just want to look up the 14th
Okay.
Amendment and read off the 14th
Well, you
Amendment.
cited the
That's what I
14th
asked you to
Amendment.
do.
Remember when you told me she was violating the 14th Amendment, and then I told you I'm a stupid liberal who doesn't know what the 14th Amendment is? That's why we're reading it. How are we off topic when I'm citing the thing that you mentioned to me?
Amendment. This
I'm
isn't
citing
about-
the thing that you told me to
This
look up.
isn't about the Constitution, dude. This is about Kamala Harris.
Yes, this is about Kamala Harris. In order for me to understand what Kamala Harris did, I have to read the thing that you said she violated.
The only
or weaponized,
reason why
okay?
I brought up the
okay,
14th Amendment is to say it was legal for her.
Hold on. I don't know if you have another stream if you're listening to me now. Okay? I can't understand, right? I can't wink. How Kamala Harris used the 14th Amendment to enslave people unless I know what the 14th Amendment did. So I am reading the 14th Amendment to you and now you're complaining, okay? I want to tell you this one more time. In order for me to understand what Kamala Harris did to those people, how she enslaved them, you said she used the 14th Amendment. So I have to read the 14th Amendment to understand what she did. Section 1, I just read. Can you tell me if it's section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, or section 5 did she use to enslave people? Because we just went over section 1, and you have yet to tell me how she used that to enslave people.
Which I honestly, right now, I don't know exactly what section it is. But
okay, no problem. I have no problem with that. That's why we're reading it. That's why we're reading it together. Dude, that's why we're reading it together. It's okay for you not to have all the answers. It's okay for you not to know what section is in. We're going to find out tonight, okay? We're going to find out tonight. So section 2. Section 2. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. Dang, that's crazy. But when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof, is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged, except for participation in rebellion or other crime, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced in the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear the whole number of male citizens. Bear to the whole number of male citizens, 21 years of age in such state. So is that the section that she used to enslave black people?
I wasn't listening to the fucking thing you were saying.
Okay, I guess not, because I didn't see the section and you weren't listening. So let's move on to section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability.
Okay.
Is that the section?
Here.
Is that the section that she used to enslave black people?
No, dude, you're not going to find it there because I was wrong. It wasn't the 14th. It was the 13th. I missed It's the 13th Amendment. Does that change? Does that change me
It
being
was the
right?
13th Amendment?
Does that change the fact?
Are you
that,
being for real?
Okay. Oh man, so she used the 13th Amendment to
Are you
enslave
being for
black
real,
people.
dude?
Oh man,
Man, that's
makes
crazy.
it so much better.
I spent all that time
makes it so
reading the
much better,
14th
man.
Amendment. All that
Oh,
time,
man.
man. That's okay. That's okay. We
That
can
makes
read
it
the
so
other
much
one.
better. Hey man,
We can
I
read
wish
the
I
other one,
would've
man.
known that it's
We
like,
can read the other one, man. Cool.
It is totally okay
Cool.
for Kamala to
So
enslave
check this out. This is actually really cool.
13th Amendment,
Hey,
not the
hey,
14th.
this is actually
It
really
was the
cool.
13th
The 13th
Amendment.
Amendment is
Not
a
the
lot
14th.
shorter, and I went to the same source for the 13th Amendment. There's only 2 sections, 4 lines. So this should be really quick. Okay? I got you. So here's section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction. Section 2. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Bam! That's it. That's the entire 13th Amendment. So can you tell me how she used the 13th Amendment to lock up black people?
That's my point right there. You support Kamala Harris. I'm asking you. I was really asking Random Citizen. We're beyond that. I'm asking you now. So the 13th Amendment, in your eyes, is excusable for her to sit there and extend prison sentencing to be able to gain the free labor? Like, these people were set to be free. She extended their prison sentencing.
How did Kamala Harris extend prison labor?
With her, are you joking?
No.
Under her work for the state.
Under her what?
She was able to lengthen sentencing. Dude,
wait.
Look,
Did you just say she paid someone to lengthen sentences?
No, she has the power to do that. When she was working for the state, she had the power to do that.
Kamala has the power to extend someone's prison sentence?
Kamala did it.
How did she do that?
Look, dude, don't ask me how she did that. I just told you how she did it. The 13th Amendment.
You didn't tell me how she did it. The 13th Amendment does not give executive powers, or better yet, I guess this would be judicial powers, to the vice president, or at the time, the attorney general, to extend anyone's prison sentence. So that's not in the 13th Amendment, because we just read over the 13th Amendment. But you said she did it, and you said she used the 13th Amendment to do it. So can you articulate that? Can you articulate that, boss? Can you do that for me?
I can absolutely articulate that right now.
Shoot your shot.
You are making my entire point. MAGA the entire time was saying that was wrong and that shouldn't have counted as the 13th Amendment, but everybody else is saying it's legal because it's the 13th Amendment. That's the whole entire debate.
Can you tell me how she would have used the 13th Amendment to do what you're saying?
Institutionalized power, basically.
Institutionalized power, basically?
Yep. That's how Democrats have done it across the country. Institutionalized power. Yeah.
Okay. So was Kamala Harris the judge that sentenced these people?
No.
Oh.
She would act as like she was DA, right?
What does a DA do?
A district attorney?
Yeah. What does a DA do?
You're going to be representing the state.
They would be representing the state? Does the district attorney sentence people?
The district attorney is sitting there. So when I say institutionalized power, right? it doesn't stop at DAs. It doesn't stop at the judges. It goes all the way down to even jury in some of these districts.
W's in the chat to Melvin for the $2 super chat. Wrong, idiot. It's the 13th Amendment. Yeah, he told me that later on. Unfortunately, we wasted some time reading the 14th, but it is what it is. We're here now. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Mark for the $5 Venmo. He must be referencing or referring to the 13th Amendment. Slavery and involuntary servitude are prohibited except as punishment for a crime. Of course, this applies nationwide anyway. Disingenuous. I would say so, Mark. W's in the chat to you. If anyone would like to support the platform, you may utilize the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Can you tell me how a district attorney extended someone's sentence?
Amendment, and it was the 13th Amendment that is somehow.
Can you tell me how a district attorney would utilize the 13th Amendment to extend someone's prison sentence?
What?
Can you tell me how a district attorney can utilize the 13th Amendment to extend someone's sentence? Or prison time, ultimately, yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, she was Attorney General, right? So it was her as Attorney General that.
So she wasn't district attorney. I don't know why you brought that up. Okay. Hey man, listen. Listen. I don't want to be. I don't want to be down on you or anything.
Listen to this.
I don't want to be down on you or anything. But this is the second time I've had to correct you on this platform, and it's really not a good look. We currently have about 600 people watching on both platforms, and I think it's really important that people like you don't look stupid as fuck on social media. So I just want to tell you to be cautious about the next words that come out of your mouth. Therefore, no more people hear you fucking up royally. Okay, I'm just trying to help you get good at this. I'm trying to help you get good at this.
The 13th or the 14th Amendment does that.
How does an attorney general extend the sentences of prison people?
Yes or no?
I don't know if you're right because you haven't articulated how you're right.
So it's fact. Everybody in the room right now knows that Kamala Harris.
No, you can't keep saying that when you haven't even substantiated that. So again, can you tell me how the Attorney General can extend sentences for people?
I'm more so asking you right now, how does the 13th Amendment excuse slavery, but the 14th Amendment?
Yeah, I don't remember saying that. I don't know what you're talking about. All I do know is that I was asking a question. I still have yet to get an answer on how an Attorney General can extend the sentence of people.
I'll give you a whole other example of how you support slavery. You support slavery. You're against tariffs and American sovereignty because brown countries make your tea move.
Does your back hurt from that pivot? Does your back hurt from that pivot, bro? Is your ankles broken? I can hear them creaking right now. I need you to focus on the point that you brought up. I want to emphasize the fact that you are super duper heated and rambling about something that you brought up. And the second I asked you to substantiate it, you pivoted on to tariffs. Okay? So, Grant, would you like to tell me how an attorney general extends sentences for people serving prison time?
Dude, look it up right now. I promise you.
I'm sorry, you're the one who made the claim.
Not disputed.
Why can't
by
you tell me how she did it? You said it. You said it with your full chest. You said she supported slavery. You said she came from slavers and she supported slavery. We debunked your first point. We're now on to the second point. Can you tell me how
you did not debunk
the Attorney General...
my point. What is the difference between the 13th and the 14th Amendment? How does that even affect whether Kamala did or did not do that thing?
I don't know. You're the one who made the argument.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. So the 13th and the 14th... Wait. The 13th and the 14th Amendment has nothing to do with Kamala Harris keeping black men in prison?
Why don't you...
Is that what you just said?
You are like...
Hey. I just need one answer. I just need one more answer. Hey. I'm going to let you speak for 60 seconds uninterrupted once you answer this question for me. Did you just say that the 13th and the 14th Amendment have nothing to do with Kamala Harris keeping black men in prison?
I said no. I said it has nothing to do with why I called in to talk about Kamala's actions.
I got you, bro.
Okay,
Hold, please.
Not,
Listen to the
not
stream.
The
Hold, please.
Constitution.
I got you, bro. This is what we got the instant replay for. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but you guys can hear it. This is what we got the replay for, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I called in to talk about Kamala's actions.
I got you, bro.
Okay,
Hold, please.
Not,
Listen to the
not
stream. Can't
by
you tell me
either
how she
party.
did it? You said it. You said it with your full chest. You said she supported slavery. You said she came from slavers and she supported slavery. We debunked your first point. We're now on to the second point. Can you tell me how
you did not debunk
the
it. You
Attorney
proved
General...
my point. What is the difference between the 13th and the 14th Amendment? How does that even affect whether Kamala did or did not do that thing?
I don't know. You're the one who made the argument.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't. So the 13th and the 14th.
I'm wearing a red or a green shirt.
The third. Hey, caller, are you still there?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. So I just went back and did the instant replay to hear what you said. You said the 13th and the 14th Amendment doesn't have anything to do with Kamala Harris locking up black people.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with my point being Kamala
So
Harris.
with that being said, I want to let you know
If you're
something.
sitting
I want to
there
let you know
calling people
something.
racist,
I want to
I'm
let
gonna
you know
call
something.
you out for your double
You're a
speak.
dumb fuck!
I'm gonna say,
You're a stupid motherfucker. And the best part about you, unfortunately, did not run down your mother's leg. I think your idiot brain is getting fucked by stupid, and I'd offer you some lube, but you call it woke. W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. Thanks for what you do. Please continue helping my business. Use JuneMom30 for Juneteenth/Mother's Day stuff. That is correct. Melvin, are you in my Discord? I don't remember if you're in my Discord or not. If you can send a link to your shop in the chat. So I can go ahead and have it for my reference and post it to people, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I would greatly appreciate it. Melvin has a shop. It's in Erica's Linktree. I need to get it in mine, and he does discount codes, not only based off of my username, but others for the month of June. So that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, propaganda. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me which amendment Kamala Harris used to lock up black men for slavery?
Whatever one that allows you to like put people in cages or whatever. Like, I don't know, due process and shit.
I only let him up to answer that question. We're well over the time I was supposed to end this live. But that answer was wild. That answer was wild. Wow, man. Guys, I know I typically say I love talking about Kamala Harris. I don't anymore. Rehashing the same stupid shit that I did for the last half of 2024 is getting to be very, very exhausting. Extremely exhausting. On top of that, this is one of the craziest things that I realized early 2025, mid 2025. Actually, I would say late 2024, actually. The stuff that I was debating with people, sleeping her way to the top, locking up black men for having, the MJ, her not being black, borders are, all these different things were, well, not borders are, that would be only count for when she was the vice president. All the shit that I was going back and Jamal True Love, all this shit that I was going back and forth with Trump supporters about was the same shit that people in 2020 was going back and forth with her about. Same shit. And then on the local level, in California, before then, the same talking points They recycled. There was very few new things that they brought up in 2024 outside of what was related to the election, such as her wearing earbuds where people told her what to say on the debate stage. You guys remember that? You guys remember that? Such as telling Christians that they're at the wrong rally. Such as her middle name, Devi Harris, meaning the devil because her mother is Hindu and they're demon worshippers. All of that shit rehashed. You people are fucking stupid. W's in the chat to Wakandan for the $10 super chat. I'm worried the caller is going to need to change his underwear along with his handkerchief to wipe his nose. God damn. I'm not saying goddamn, although I would have. That was his super chat. W's in the chat to you, Wakanda. Good to see you, man. W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. You are clueless, referencing the last guest. You have no tangible evidence or proof of Kamala being a slave owner. Please shut the fuck up. The point I was trying to make earlier with Kamala Harris and having... well, actually, why am I telling you guys this? You guys are actually smart. Imagine... Okay, actually, fuck it. I'm going to say it. We're going to talk about racism for a second. And then I'm going to end because I got shit to do. Oh, fuck, it's late. We're going to talk about racism for a second. Okay? Okay? How racist do you have to be to look at a black person and tell them that they're this based off of their ancestors? Mind you, not even based off their ancestors. If you understand history, if you understand slavery, how in the fuck could you, with your full chest, look at a black woman and call her a slave owner or a descendant of slaves because, and I forgot his name. Let me pull up his name. Hold on. I forgot his name. Give me a second. Bro, I used to debate this every single day, and I forgot his name. Hamilton Brown. Here we go. Thank you. For you to look at a black woman and tell her because Hamilton Brown decided to steal your people, fuck your people, and then down the line bring you about, to look at a black person and tell them that they're this because of the actions of your fucking lineage is one of the most racist, disgusting piece of shit things I've ever heard in my entire life. To look at black people and look down upon them for the actions of slave owners is gross. Quite frankly, I hope you do a backflip off a balcony. And this time, I'm not going to say it's for athletic purposes. I hope something cracks. I hope it's in the top half, and I wish you the worst in life. With that being said, I have to end before I get a flag. Don't worry about the raid. I appreciate every last one of you. Goodbye! YouTube, appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to end on this end as well. Shout out to some of the hardest working mods on the platform. Thank you guys so much for the likes, the shares, the comments, all the good ways that you keep the stream going. We will be back tomorrow, roughly around 3-4 p.m. CST, and pick back up on the stream there. So